Hey guys, J-Man here. Okay, well, we kind of had a little bit of a snag. We were gonna talk about the James Bond actors. That may still happen. One of our guests may be running a little bit late. I'm not sure exactly, so it might be in about half an hour or so. Steve will be joining me as well. We're just trying to coordinate everything. I have to keep changing the time around. It's a little bit hectic right now because of all of the stuff that I've been doing with my business. I've had to shut down stuff, so there's just a lot going on right now. Um, so yeah, it's been crazy. So I mean, I think for just the next little bit, I'll just blab on, or maybe have like an open discussion if anybody wants to talk about anything. I'm gonna see if I can open up another tab here and get get some stuff here going with maybe some images and things. All right, let's share my screen here. Which is Chrome tab, Google. Okay. There we go. No thanks, I don't want this. Okay. So what's been going on recently? There's been a bunch of comics came out, which we're going to probably discuss. Let me remove this for just a second. I can go through some of the issues. So this is what I grabbed this week, in addition to the X-Men stuff that I always grab. We got Infinite Frontier. This is Secret Files. This came out a week or so ago. It's an 80-pager. I only read half of it so far, so I haven't taped it up yet. I'm going to finish that off. Infinite Frontier 2 of 6. I did not read this one yet either. So we're going to keep it loose today. If you guys want to we can keep it somewhat open, at least for the first half an hour while I'm waiting for my other guests to pop in. I got Superman and the Authority. So I'm kind of interested to read this one. I'm excited. I never really read much Authority. I wasn't into it that much, but it's Superman. So I thought, let's try this out and see how it goes with Superman. That might be kind of fun. Nightwing. This was really cool. This was continuing or explaining the sister. So Dick Grayson has a sister, and they kind of explain her story. I liked it. And everyone always complains, saying, "Oh, you old comic nerds, you guys can't accept change, and you don't like this and that," and everyone's always like, throwing that bullshit at us, but it's a lie. Like, I love new ideas. I love new concepts if they're handled well, and if the concept doesn't, ruin what's come before. Like, they didn't say, "Oh, Dick Grayson's, a piece of trash now," or something. It's just like, there's a sister he didn't know about, and they didn't even make his father look bad. They made his father look like a hero. So they didn't introduce this character to make anyone else look bad. They just introduced this character. Now, look, it's comics, right? Things have to change here and there. You can't literally have the exact same thing for decades and decades and decades. Things change. Superman has long hair. He had the mullet, right? And then after Superman lost the mullet, he was the electric blue Superman, for quite a while. There's at least a year or so or more of those electric blue Supermans. I collected them all, so I know I had those. So I like Nightwing. I like Nightwing. I like this. I like the sister. We'll see where this story goes to. So that'll be cool. Sorry, just checking my phone here. Yeah, all right. What else do we get? Oh, Moon Knight. Moon Knight #1. I did not read Moon Knight #1 yet. I bagged it because it comes with a digital copy, so I'm going to read it digitally. But let me know if there's any Moon Knight fans. Just in general, there's the new show coming out, so that might be pretty cool. Superwoman. What am I talking about? Supergirl. Supergirl, the woman of tomorrow. I guess I didn't want to say the girl of tomorrow, as though that actually matters. But in any case, Supergirl. This was not too bad. This is a mini series. It's 8. It's an 8 issue mini series. So that's interesting. So far, it's been okay. I don't think it's bad, but I'm not. It's not blowing my socks off. But it's okay. it's okay. I'm not a fan of the art that much of this one. Action Comics. This is an annual. It was really good. I like this. This was like a story about the House of L in the future. And it was really neat. And right there you see Hank Henshaw. So Cyborg Superman. That's pretty cool. He's in it. And they're actually in the Fantom Zone. And now there might be some controversy about this book because they talk about what the Fantom Zone actually is. So it's weird. It's a little bit weird. Some people might not like it, but again, see what I said about changes in comics, right? So the Suscast, what's going on? You're multitasking. What are you multitasking? Going from stream to stream hopping or working on other stuff? And Batman. Yes, Batman. I'm liking the Batman stuff, this is the Ghost the Ghost Maker backup story was really good in this, but this is the Peacekeepers. I was gonna say Peacemakers. I got confused. Yeah, the Peacekeepers. So this is Peacekeeper 1 he's fighting here. So this is the beginning of that future state stuff, which wasn't really all that great. But this part of it was okay. It's Batman, I'm still liking a lot of these comics. I think what's happening lately in comics is that I've really been picking and choosing. And I think that's why I'm kind of being okay with a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of people have dropped modern comics and they've just thought like, I'm kind of done with the whole thing. And that's fine. I see where those guys are coming from. For me personally, I really can't. I'm really not going to stop collecting comics. I go every week. It's not something that I want to stop. And the worst that can possibly happen is that I'm always going to read detective comics. I'm always going to read action comics. I'm always going to read Wonder Woman, and I'm always going to read Wolverine, and I'm always going to read X-Men. Those flagship titles. Superman and Batman, I'm going to read Superman comics as well. Batman, sometimes I read, sometimes I don't. To me, Batman came from Detective Comics. Detective Comics is a Batman thing. Superman came from Action Comics. Action Comics is a Superman thing. Those are kind of the way I think about it. Wonder Woman's her own series. And Wolverine's one of my favorites from childhood, right? So, or at least my teen years. And X-Men, that's like my thing. So I'm never going to stop reading the X-Men, at least the flagship titles. And plus my channel I do a lot of X-Men videos. So I'm probably never going to cancel the X-Men or the mutant books, if you want to call that, something. But I feel that a lot of the newer Marvel things, properties, books, I'm not, getting into them as much. I just don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if, I don't want to get into the whole politics of all of this stuff. I'm looking at the final product, and if the final product is not something that is intriguing to me or that I'm interested in, then I'm going to pass on it. That's just it's as simple as that. And if you want to dig deep into that, then you can. It's not going to be anything that I'm going to be really explaining myself or whatever. Now I know there's some controversy going on with the Kevin Smith and the whole Masters of the Universe thing. And I think that's debuting real soon. It might be tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. But Masters of the Universe Revelations is coming tomorrow. I'm a massive Masters of the Universe fan. I don't cover that stuff on my channel. I like to keep some things to myself. I've got almost every He-Man Classics figure that had come out during the Matty Collector days. For the vintage line, I have almost every figure as well. When I was a child, I had 64 of the vintage figures, and I had Castle Grayskull and a lot of vehicles. I never had Snake Mountain for some reason, but I'm a big fan of He-Man. I've met, the voice of Skeletor and all that. I've got Dolph Lundgren's autograph. I love the He-Man movie. Oh, that is all right. So Steve's going to be joining me in a minute here. and we'll just continue talking about that. So yeah, we're gonna keep it pretty loose right now, at least for another 15-20 minutes to see if my guest can come on. If he can, then we're gonna get right into the James Bond actors, which is what was sort of going to be the topic tonight. But life happens, things change. We gotta go with the flow. All right, let's bring Steve in here. Hey, Steve.
Hey, J-Man, how's it going?
Going all right. I just been so we're not sure. I'm not sure about the James Bond thing. There could be some confusion. We're gonna see what happens. So until then, we're gonna have a staring contest and see who blinks first. No. We can talk about. Are you all caught up on Superman and all that? Superman and Lois.
Superman, Lois, Loki. I'm caught up on everything.
On all that stuff. Okay. Well, I wanted to really get into this stuff on Sunday when we have our full panel of everybody, but we'll probably go through it then as well, just because I'm not sure if Sean has seen the last episode of Superman and Lois. When I talked to him this morning, he had not. I think he hadn't seen the last two. I was also behind two, and I had to catch up today on the two, so I just watched them back to back or whatever to catch up. I mean, I'm really liking it.
There's shows. Do you remember shows? And this is prior to everything that's gone on in the world with people don't watch things live anymore. They PVR them or they download them afterwards or they stream them, so you don't have to see it live. But back in the day, remember how we used to watch everything live, and there was stuff where it's like, if the show was on, like, don't bother me. Like, don't
you have to make it home or whatever in time, or you have to, if you're having dinner, you're like, oh, I got to hurry up and, finish dinner before this starts or whatever, right?
Exactly. Superman Lois is like that for me. I'm so into everything going on that I can't fathom missing it or even watch it the next day. There's stuff like Bad Batch, which is like, I'll watch it whenever, even reality shows like Big Brother. So I'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. But this is one thing where it's like, I feel very strong. I'm very into the storyline, the characters, everything that's happening. I love the idea that I think that Superman's brother is becoming the Eradicator, which
it's genius.
I mean, as soon as he said Eradicator and it was a thing, I'm like, oh my god, if that becomes a person, that will be awesome.
It is. It is. He's gonna Maxwell Edge, or what's his? No, Morgan Edge. Sorry, Morgan Edge is gonna be the Eradicator. How sick is that? That's awesome.
That's genius.
So they got our buddy. They got Steel.
Yeah.
They right. It's like they got Eradicator now. Like, this is crazy. They're gonna have all of these guys.
So
I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping Cyborg Superman is in the future because that would be awesome to do too.
Yeah,
he was always like visually, he was always one of the best Superman villains. I thought, just like this half man, half Superman, half machine.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Even when he was in other things like the Sinestro War, he was part of the Sinestro Corp War.
There he is, right there.
Oh yeah.
He's been stuck in the Fantom Zone in this book. This is the latest. This is the latest issue of Action.
Well, the Sinestro Corp War really took him in an interesting place. I found that's Jeff Johns, who everyone shits on now, but he went off in an interesting way where he basically was hoping to get killed in the Sinestro Corp War because his existence is torturous because he doesn't really know what he is, and he actually talked like he kept throwing himself against these heroes, hoping someone would destroy him and put him out of his miserable existence, which I thought was a really interesting idea.
That is an interesting idea. I haven't read any of those. I've only read the Grant Morrison most recent Green Lantern run, which they've called Season 1 and Season 2, 12 and 12 issues or whatever, and maybe an annual or something, which I really enjoyed. but I'm going to read those, and you've turned me on to the ones that I should be reading for those Green Lantern, those big ones, the Blackest Night and Brightest Day and all of those, the Sinestro Corps War and all that. So I definitely want to get to those because I think they're super cool. And like Diggle, I was hoping he'd have the ring or something. I was like, oh, please, is he going to have the ring or whatever? Now he says glowing box, and then he just kind of doesn't refer to it again. So I would definitely be into having Diggle be Green Lantern and have him appear on Superman Lois. It's almost like, because John Diggle to me was a cool character, and he remained good like throughout the whole thing. Like he never became a shit box or like a crybaby like half the other people on these other CW shows. So I'm totally okay with him coming in and being a Green Lantern and not really be a comic thing and having that maybe change. I was saying earlier, everyone makes fun of, the comic nerds. Oh, you guys can't accept change and all this. But we accept change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Nightwing has a sister now, right? Half sister. It's like, okay, we're accepting that. I don't see people on Twitter, barfing and taking a big dump on that. Mostly probably because they don't read comics. But for those who do, nobody's getting pissed off over it. They're like, this is kind of cool. Like, she was a cool character. I don't know. Did you read Nightwing this week?
Yeah, it was
good.
You know what I loved about that comic was how when they were doing the like sort of like telling her backstory, how they went back to the old style of comics where it was very like not glossy, but you know what I mean? Like it was almost like you could tell that they tried to emulate that style. That
it looked different. It was like, because it was during the Flying Graysons and all. And all that. And they didn't notice how they didn't make the father look like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Right. Like I thought, oh God, here you go. He cheated on her or some shit. Like, nope. It was like, just like it happened. They were close. And then, he really was in love with the mother, and then they got together, and, because I hate this crap. Like, oh, my dad is an ass now. This is such a new thing that they've inserted in a lot of comics and a lot of other stuff. Like, we know they have to tear down these things like, oh, families, and they have to tear down the man. Oh, he's got to be a loser. You know what I mean? It's like, no, why do you need to do that? And they did not I was so scared when I was reading Nightwing. I'm like, oh God, here we go. And they didn't like, the father's great.
Yeah, you're right. It was a concern for sure, because I don't know. I don't like that either. And I don't like how they've always got to be like, oh, something happened. Like someone was shady. It's almost like we can't accept anything's just good, or life is just a series of coincidences that take place. Like everything has to be like this motivation of ill intent.
Right. Everything has got to have some sinister part, something sinister about it. It just can't be the story is this, and then that's what happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, and like we do accept change. Like, I don't know. I finished Invincible.
Wow, good job. You way surpassed me. I'm like still where I was, like 30 issues in. So was it all good, the whole thing?
Yeah, it was all good. There was one thing where they did something and I'm like, oh, okay. And then they, not in the same way, but they sort of repeated it. And I'm like, oh, were we running a bit out of ideas at this point?
Right.
But it wasn't terrible. I will say that if a certain character, who I think you've already seen, is not introduced in season 2 of the show, that's going to be weird to me. Because that character who was not introduced has really far-flung like impact on the character and the storyline. And I think you know who I'm talking about. But I don't want to give it away for people who haven't seen it. But like, if they don't introduce that character, I'm going to be super confused.
If it's the person I'm thinking, they probably will introduce this character. Probably either maybe midway in the next season, or maybe at the end to have like some sort of thing at the end.
Yeah.
I know season 2 is for sure on. I don't know if have they already greenlit season 3 as well? So 2 and 3, yeah. Well, why don't they just make longer? I don't know. I've kind of like missed out on this whole, like, I don't know when this changed where it used to be 26 episodes a season, like you'd have these long ass things. And then somewhere along the line, it became like, like these half, like what I would have called half seasons, like 13 episodes. And then now you're getting into like 8, some of these shows, like, well, Musketeers is 10, 10 per season, which I guess is perfect for that story because it could get stale with the Musketeers just, continuously doing their swashbuckling adventures. But I would have liked to have seen another 2 seasons of Musketeers, to be honest with you, because I really enjoyed it. But even like, like Daredevil and stuff, like all of these things have now become this like sort of 8 to 10 block. And Invincible's an animated series. Like there should be like tons of, like He-Man season 1 is like 60 episodes or whatever it is, right? Like the cartoons.
Yeah, I think there's two reasons. One is they're sort of emulating the British style, and if you remember, like I'll take Faulty Towers as an example. To me, Faulty Towers lasted a long time, but then I got the complete series, and it was
nothing.
12 episodes. I'm like, what? And this take place over 4 years? I was completely stunned. The British, like if you look at Robin Hood, Musketeers is UK.
Yeah.
They don't
like Are You Being Served?
Yeah, Are You Being Served?
All these classic British comedies and stuff like that. They're great shows, but they're very short. Maybe that's why they're so great. Because the quality is so high in those, you get, 12 episodes and it's like super quality.
Well, I mean, when we talk about American television series, ultimately, and I think we even played this game, when did it jump the shark?
Right.
For British shows, unless you're Doctor Who, which is the only one that runs forever.
Yeah.
A lot of these British actors are like, okay, I'm going to do this part for this long. It's like they treat it like a play. I'm going to do this part for X number of time, and then I'm out. Like when Robin Hood ended, it was super abrupt to me. It was like, okay, we're done. I'm like,
yeah, I know.
What happened?
I really like Robin Hood.
Yeah, I really liked it. I wish it had continued.
The guy, just as a side note, the guy who played Robin Hood, Armstrong or whatever, he is one of the main villains in season 4 and 5 of Ripper Street.
Okay.
And he's like this like super crazy killer who like bites and tears his victims like with his mouth, and you're just like, oh my god, it's Robin Hood. What are you doing?
Why is Robin Hood doing this to people?
Yeah, like I know Robin Hood. You're just like, oh, it's over. What the hell happened? Like I could have seen way more of this, right?
Yeah, and I feel it's the same way. And the other thing is that back in the day, Peter Cullen and guys like that were not superstars. Now you got voice actors. It's like it's J.K. Simmons and it's the friggin' guy from Walking Dead and Seth Rogen's in I Got a Voice. And I'm like, these guys aren't going to stick through a 22 episode thing. They might do like an episode here. Like if you say, hey, Denzel, I'm not saying Denzel's going to be a voice, but hey, Denzel, you only have to do 3 epissodes as opposed to saying, hey, Denzel, you have to do 22.
Yeah, they're getting these celebrity voices instead of voice actors.
Yeah.
Hashtag hire more voice actors, or restore the voice actors. Like what happened to that? But Peter Cullen was doing multiple. He's not even just everyone's like, oh, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime, yeah. It's like he's also Ironhide. Alan Oppenheimer or whatever, the guy who's the voice of Skeletor. He's also Merman.
Yeah.
He's a few other people too, because it was funny too, because you go to when I met him and you go to get his autograph. And you see, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, you're all these characters, aren't you? You know what I mean? It's like, then I started thinking, I'm like, oh crap, man, I love Merman as well. But then you're like, you got to get him to sign Skeletor because
of course
that's the main thing. But I know it's like the voice actors are gone. Now you got these celebrities. Well, you can't have these celebrities do 65 episodes, talking or whatever. So it's like you're kind of stuck with your 10 episode limit or whatever.
And I think you still have those guys. You have like Corey Burton's around, Dee Bradley Baker's around, Tara Strong. She does a lot of voice acting. She's around. Ashley Eckstein. Like you still have the voice actors, but you have to have like a known voice as the lead voice. And it's annoying. I really love the voice actors a lot. I've grown to appreciate it. I've grown to appreciate them more. Like the guy who was Cobra Commander and Starscream, that guy was awesome. I forget his name, but Sean knows him for sure.
Well, Starscream. Oh yeah. Who is Starscream? I don't remember their names. Yeah, but yeah, even like Frank Welker and stuff, who is
Frank Welker. Yeah.
Thingy. Yeah, I
Tom
love.
King.
Yeah, Cobra Commander is great. It's like
Yeah.
Cobra.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these guys, they made it into a craft. Like, if you look at, probably the greatest voice actor of all time, who is Mel Blanc, who did all of the Looney Tune roster.
Right.
But like, that's incredible. Like, just to think this man voiced all these distinct characters and gave them their own voice and their own character is insane. Like, the talent behind that is astronomical.
There's parts. There's parts in the Transformers where Peter Cullen is talking to himself.
Yeah.
Like, the entire scene is him talking to himself as different people. It's like, Ironhide, I need you to make a special run to Autobots here on Earth. Prime, when are we gonna? And you're like,
yeah,
you're talking. That'd be so weird. It's like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Do you move? It's like Prime, and it's like, we gotta bust some Decepticons, and then he goes, and then he's like, Ironhide, go and do this, and you're just like, you're talking to yourself. Like, are you moving? Like, I'm doing it, like I'm moving around, and like I literally I'm talking to myself. It's just so weird to think that, right?
Oh yeah. But like, like Dan Castellaneta, who is Homer Simpson, and he voices like so many of the characters on The Simpsons. It's like ridiculous. And Hank Azaria, of course, they got rid of him.
He quit because his skin color in real life didn't match the skin color. So I guess the guy who does Homer is yellow skinned. So
I guess so. So. I feel like ordering one of those sky planes that writes messages in the sky and asking them to fly over Hollywood. And I want them to say in the skywriting, remember, it's acting.
Yeah, I know. They are actors.
Yeah.
I remember somebody getting mad at me. They obviously didn't know me when I was talking about some characters and how they had how they have changed them or whatever, like a Taskmaster thing or something. Hey, Andrew, how's it going, dude? And they were talking about Taskmaster, and I was like, oh yeah, they changed him. The guy was all pissed off. And he's like, oh, they're fictional characters. I was like, okay, so then what does it matter? Like, all of the arguments for it, you can throw back against it. It's like, well, what's the difference? What gender it is. Okay, if that's really true, then why are you changing it? Like, there obviously is something in your mind to tell you that there's a difference because you've gone ahead and you've changed it. So you've initiated that. You wanted that. It's not like a mountain that's just there. Like you built a McDonald's here. Well, we don't care if people go to McDonald's. Well, why did you build it here? Like you're changing it. So you're changing it for a reason. Sean's coming in about half an hour or so.
He always has to make an entrance.
I was anticipating Sean not coming at all for this one. I'm not sure what's going on for Sunday because I'm still at the business selling stuff and closing stuff down. So I'm hoping to make it back in time. I scheduled the stream. I scheduled the Danger Room just in time, hopefully to come back. But when Sean comes on, if he's watched all the shows, we'll talk about Loki and Superman. And what else was there? Was there anything else that was on that we? I guess that was it for the shows.
Yeah, I don't know if there's many. Like, before I continue, just as a side note, I did pre-order X-Men, the arcade game, so it is.
Wow, I really want to pre-order it. The problem is that like I'm at this crossroads now where I'm like, I don't know, like, am I gonna have the money? So what Steve's talking about is Steve has ordered. I'm gonna show this to you guys. This is my well, not my favorite arcade game, but like in my top 5. X-Men arcade. Oops, it's actually number one up. So this here is basically like a replica of the game, of the arcade game. It's not a 6-player one. It's a 4-player simultaneous one. It's quite a big cabinet. And Steve already has the Ninja Turtles arcade, which gives you what does it give you, Steve, on that one again?
It gives you TMNT, the arcade game, and it gives you Turtles in Time.
So it gives you 2 games. This X-Men game is going to give you Avengers as well, which is great.
Yeah.
I love the Avengers arcade game. I mean, this is such a tempting like purchase. What was it? Was it like 600 or something?
It was 774 US. So it was $699 US and then $75 to ship it here.
To ship it, right?
But like this and TMNT are it. I don't care what arcade game they come out with now. I love Narc. I'm not buying Narc. Like
Right.
This is it. Like when I heard about this, like what, and I don't know, like younger people in the chat, like what you have to understand is that when we talk about the arcade games, it's not just a couple of old farts who are like going through their memory banks and remembering something. This was a culture. This was something that was like breathing to us. Like you walk in and what did you see? Street Fighter was always taken, right? TMNT was always taken. Bad Dudes was always taken, at least for me when I saw it.
Yeah.
X-Men was always taken.
Yeah, it was 2 screens. It was like
2 screens. You didn't get near it, right? Like these games were iconic. Were like, and it was a thing to just sit there and watch the guys play the games, and like, you know, it was just like growing up. Like this is how you spent your time. A lot of the time was you went to arcades and they got everything. Every arcade had a wrestling game of some sort. Maybe it was WrestleFest. Maybe it was the Alien. I forget what it's called, but remember the alien? There was aliens fighting. Like it was weird.
Oh, like you're talking about a fighter?
Yeah,
like it was like a 2D fighder with aliens. I don't know. There
a
was
guy
like,
was green and a guy
like
was
Killer
like,
Instinct and all that.
No, sorry, it was an actual wrestling game, but it was like there was a green alien guy.
Was that's what's it called? I have that on thingy. King of the Monsters, maybe.
That was the thing. What else was there? Like Double Dragon.
Yeah, Double Dragon.
That was there.
Oh wait, no, King of the Monsters. I guess I got to do arcade. It was Neo Geo. There you go.
Yeah.
This was great. And there's part 2 as well. Yeah, it was like there was like a cheap Godzilla and a cheap King Kong.
Yeah. And then Rampage.
Oh, Rampage is awesome.
Rampage was always there. Like that was a thing. Like
yeah,
it was something.
Rampage
like that was
great.
something you did. Right? Like
I was there all day.
Yeah.
They still do in modern tournaments, they still do Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So they still do Super Turbo. Just last year's tournament, I don't remember their names. The finals or it was this was for second place. It was Honda versus DJ. Now, if you look at there's like a grid you guys can Google for like Street Fighter or for any game, I guess, for Super Turbo, and then it'll show you every character versus every character and every possible combination, and it tells you the percentage of if you get the guy who's the best at using DJ versus the guy who's using the best at Honda. DJ wins, like 9.5 out of 10 times, or it's like Honda cannot win, and Honda won, and and it's best out of 5, and it was like best out of 3, and then best out of 5. Man, it was, I think it was 2020. If you're ever bored, you can look it up. Do Super Turbo Honda versus DJ, and it is a nail biter. And like Honda beating DJ is absolutely incredibly beyond anything. If you're a Street Fighter person, it's crazy to see that. But anyway, but Dalsum is very difficult to beat. I could beat people with just one hand. I don't even need the joystick. with Dalsim. If you're talking Street Fighter 2, the regular Street Fighter 2,
Yeah.
regular Street Fighter 2, I can beat people with just Dalsim. But now I don't know how games are now, because it seems that like a lot of them are like storylines, right? They're not really like skill testing.
You know, it's funny because like I'll give you an example. I didn't play Deadly Alliance, but I played Mortal Kombat Deception, and that was one with a storyline. You actually needed to do parts of the storyline to unlock some of the characters.
Yeah, I remember.
I thought it was terrific because
awesome.
it really expanded the universe of MK, but you still had the fighting in between. So I thought it was a really interesting idea to put it as an open world concept.
Yeah, it was like an RPG, and then you'd fight side, then you'd go to 2D or whatever, right?
Yeah, and I thought that was amazing, an amazing concept to sort of evolve the series. So you still get that element. The problem I have is that the combinations now, if you look at the button pushes, they're nuts. Like, you know, it's not the half circle high punch to throw a fireball. Now it's like I can't even explain it. Like half the moves, it's like the combos are ridiculous. Killer Instinct was where they really introduced the crazy ass combos, where it's like I saw a guy do a 99 hit combo.
Yeah, I've seen that
in the arcade. I'm like, what is this? This is flipping crazy. It seems that it's become something you actually have to train at to become like really proficient. It's not something you can just pick up and play. Yeah.
Hey, Brennan. I've got. I don't know which one I've got. I've got Mortal Kombat something. Whatever the newest one was for Xbox 360, that's the one I have. And then I don't have anything past that. But like it got to the point where I started to lose my interest because it's like the moves were just weird to me. Like like I used to be able to input a set of commands using a joystick button combination that would produce the move that I wanted. And I still play Super Street Fighter 4, no, Ultra Street Fighter 4. And then there's like a new version or something. Or, you know, maybe it's just called Ultra Street Fighter 4. So I play that, and like I don't like any of the joysticks that I have. The only characters I can play with any sort of, you know, efficiency are the non-charge guys. So like I can't use Honda, I can't use Guile. You know, I have to use Ken, like the Ken Ryu type characters, or like Zangief, you know, because I think the 360 is very easy. But like other than that, I cannot use anybody. I can use Juri because a lot of her moves are spin based, because it's like the Xbox 360 controller has that little knob, the little joystick, and the PlayStation has the worst directional pad for a fighting game of all time. I can't even do a fireball on that thing. And in the arcade, I would never miss a fireball. Like if I wanted to do a Shoryuken or a Hadoken, it happened. Now I barely, like, I can't pull them out. Like someone would jump, and like while they're in me, I would pull out a
Hadoken,
like I can't do it on here. So I'd probably suck if I was playing with these. But I need a classic joystick. That's why I didn't buy the arcade one up. The joystick was not that good. It wasn't that precise, and it was the ball, and it needs to be the baseball bat.
You need the bat, yeah.
And now you can replace that, but I'm like, why am I replacing stuff? It's like I hate buying something and then, oh well, if you modify the joystick and if you modify the thing, I'm like, well, just make the joystick better and then charge me $100 more. Like I don't want to. If I want to customize something, then I'm going to customize it from scratch. Like I know a guy at work who literally created the entire cabinet. He cut it out himself. He did Turtles. He did the Turtles deco, and he printed the vinyl and put the vinyl on the side, and it was literally Ninja Turtles arcade. And then he has an emulator. He's got one of the Raspberry Pis, like what we've got. He's got the Raspberry Pi in there, and he's got every game there ever was. And then my other buddy made a pinball machine.
Oh,
yeah, he has like an HD, like a 4K TV, and has the pinball, like virtual pinball.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he has another TV on the back that displays all of the things. Then he has like a sound bar on top of that, which does the sounds. It's crazy. It's better, and it's every pinball table there ever was scanned into the digital format. And he actually has a plunger like that works.
Oh, that's
but it's
awesome.
digital. It's digital, and he's got like the buttons on the side, and he's got a button to shake the table, right?
Oh,
sometimes
yeah,
shaking the table is a thing. I mean, this is crazy. He built this himself, and it's bloody fan. And he showed it to me. I'm like, this is crazy. It's just like now. If I'm gonna do that, I mean, he could sell that for $10,000. If you try to buy a legit pinball table right now, and you wanted a really good one, like maybe like Terminator 2 or something, you know, if you wanted a good pinball table with all the gears and parts to that, like that's like $3,000 or $4,000, you know. And then it's like, man, if it breaks down, who's repairing that? Hi, pinball repair, you know, lightning fast pinball repair. Hi, can you come over and it's like, who's going to repair that? Nobody. You got to figure it out. So literally, you just get a digital one, and then everything's there.
Well, I mean, you're right about the
Hey, Sean.
John, you're muted.
He wasn't ready. I brought him in too fast.
Here he goes.
Yeah.
Just like the Nintendo controller was the joypad, it was joypad and the two buttons, and I'm like, this is perfect.
Oh, NES you're talking about? Yeah. The D. Yeah.
Then the Super Nintendo added I think it was 4.
Well, it's actually
shoulder buttons and 4 buttons. Yeah.
If you count the bumpers.
Yeah. I'm counting the bumpers. So they added the 2. They added the AB, then they added X, Y, and then the left, right bumpers, on top. Yeah.
That was perfect.
I knew this was going to get like hyper confusing. Now, when I have an Xbox 360 controller for computer, because I'm not playing the Batman games or any of the other games I have on Steam off the freaking keyboard. Like that's just
right. That's brutal.
Idiotic. And I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, do I know where all the buttons? It's like there's a button here, there's a button here, there's a button here, there's a button here, there's a button here. You actually push into the joystick. That's a button. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I really like the 360 controller, except for using it for Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Every other game that I've played on it, it's far superior to me than the PlayStation one. I don't know. Maybe there's some PlayStation people out there who think that one is superior. But the Xbox 360 controller for me is perfect.
Yeah, but it's different kinds of games. It's different kinds of games, right? I mean, like the Super Nintendo controller is good for the 2D, like side-scrolling, old-style games, whereas these like multiple button controllers are great for these new style sort of like, you know, questing, simulation type of games, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it like for me, when I used to play those back in the day, I used the mouse and the keyboard, and I found that my mouse, I was better at like targeting.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know now. Like now, because you have the 2 joysticks, one is usually your head,
yeah,
and one is your directions, right, where you're walking.
Yeah.
So once you get that like perfect, then you're in good shape, right?
Yeah.
So no, Sean, we're not saying one controller is better than the other. I'm saying modern controller versus like the modern Xbox controller is better for me than the modern PlayStation controller. I don't like the PlayStation controller because I don't like that there's the 2 joysticks down here and their D-pad is garbage.
No one uses the D-pad I know of for PlayStation.
For PlayStation, okay. Well, why is it there? It's in the
idea.
prime. It's in the prime spot where you don't want it. I don't know. I haven't seen what PlayStation are they on now. 14. Like what's the newest one? 5. 5. So maybe 5 looks different, but for sure, like 3 or 4 or whatever, I did not like that at all. I couldn't do shit with it. It was awful. Yeah. I prefer the Xbox 360. I didn't like the first Xbox controller. That was a ginormous, like it was like this big. You're like, why am I holding like a pie? Or
it's chunky. It
was so bad. Yeah. But the 360 one was much better, I think.
Yeah.
I still have my Xbox I still have my Xbox, and the thumb pads, the thumbsticks are deteriorating. So when you do your thing, you'll see your thumbs are black because part of the black from the thumbstick is coming off of it. So
That's
yeah.
brutal.
Like
No, so I wanted to
or
address could not be reached. So we were gonna do the James Bond stuff, but my guest was the person who wanted to do it, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it now, and it looks like he's probably not going to be able to make it. So we're just keeping it, open right now. You're right. I can't stand the Sony controller. I know. Yeah, the modern Xbox controller, except for Street Fighter, I can use it on anything else because I have all those old games because I bought all of those collections of the classic arcade Midway, whatever shit it is. And it works beautifully with all those. I play Joust, like old Joust on that joystick. It's pretty neat. The only thing is that Joust has a lot of it's like the way the flapping works. You can kind of like press it like faster, slower, but it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, we need the proper controller. Obviously, every controller is built for every game to be the perfect controller for that game. But if you just want all purpose, I think the Xbox One kind of is my favorite for just all purpose use if I have to pick one. But definitely for modern games, yeah. But Street Fighter, I need the proper joystick. I need the Street Fighter joystick. I can't do this bullshit hand control or the Genesis 6-button controller. For whatever reason, that has a raised D-pad.
Yeah.
And it's not just flat. It's like it kind of like it's curved.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful for Street Fighter. I hated the NES or the SNES controller for Street Fighter is god awful.
Shit, because they're not all laid out for your thumb.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
like shoulder buttons, and you put the shit jab and the shit kick on the shoulder buttons.
At the top. Yeah.
Now that's how it is on the Xbox though. But I'm used to that. But you have two. You have a bumper and a trigger.
Yeah.
So you got two. So I use the bumpers for the 3 buttons at once because as Street Fighter Advanced, if you hit all 3 kicks or all 3 punches, it also does a thing. So I have that as 1 button or whatever. I mean, it is what it like. Look, modern gamers, they're used to these controllers and they're killer. Like I've seen people snipe. Well, Brennan has a Twitch channel. And he streams, and it's like super precise, right? So I mean, it's much better now than it was. Like, yeah, those 2D games, like the old NES, it's like 2 buttons. It's like 2 buttons. What am I supposed to do with that? Remember the 1 button? There's the 1 button.
Yeah.
Or Atari, right?
The red button in the corner.
Yeah, the red button in the little square corner.
I always found those joysticks weird. They were so
stiff. They suck.
They were stiff as hell.
They were super stiff. It's literally that cheap joystick joker. It's like super stiff.
Well, it was terrible. And like you would think you would have to pull hard on it one way or the other to move. And like it was so super sensitive, like you just twitched it and it went whew, across the screen. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. Atari is hard to play unless you're playing, but it's very hard to play if you don't have that joystick because I've tried playing Atari games with other joysticks and they don't work very well. Like you need to have, like I play Yar's Revenge all the time and it's brutal. Like you need to have that quote unquote crappy joystick.
I mean, did you guys ever try and use it with, I don't remember if it was a Commodore, but remember there was a wheel? There wasn't even a joystick. There was a wheel.
Marble Madness and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that was like, that was like trying to give a rabbit pit bull an enema with one hand tied behind your back. It's just freaking stupid.
But there's guys who are killer with that, man. They're like super, like they know exactly.
It's crazy. It's a craft. It's a skill. Like it is. Like
it is skill. People don't really understand that that a lot of these games, it's like it is a lot of skill. Like right, especially when you're the first person shooters or third person shoot, like whatever it happens to be. Are awesome and you can have a lot of fun with them with the skill levels of those. But I just find that a lot of the other games that's like, like the story mode, like I played Tomb Raider, the newer Tomb Raider ones, and they're really neat. But I just I'm like, I can't do this story.
The
like
cutscenes.
I forgot everything already. Like, it's like, if I go back to playing it now, I'm going to totally forget where I am, and then I'm going to forget what I'm doing. It's not like there's always a clear-cut thing. I liked the shooters because it was like capture the flag. That's it. So, hey, Clobbering Times, how's it going, dude?
Hey, Clobbering Times.
We're gonna be talking about Dread
Genesis
eventually. 6-button controller. Yes, that was awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to at some point we're going to arrange talking about the modern Dread movie, because Clobbering Times doesn't like the modern Dread movie.
Oh
my God! So we're gonna have to fight it out. We're gonna. No, I don't think so, because the problem is that his points are kind of true, but it is what it is. We'll save that discussion for when it happens. I don't want to do the discussion now.
Well,
I gotta start taking notes. It's like I've seen that movie 4,000 times, but like I gotta start taking notes, and I'm gonna do some cheating because Rob Ager has done Ager has done some videos on Dread, and whenever he does a video, I steal Rob Ager's stuff. I stole so much, I felt bad, and I bought some of the videos because I stole like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I literally stole everything he said, so I literally had to buy the 2001. There's 6 hours of 2001: A Space Odyssey videos that I watched, and I was stealing. I was writing notes. I got to steal all this, and then I'm like, I should just buy this because that's really awful. Like, I'm stealing this guy's.
Well, that's. So I think Sean sold to me a book called Film Classics, which goes through some of the classics. And I remember one of them was they did the Matrix movies, and I cannot stand 2 or 3. And I'm like,
they're pretty cheap.
So I'm like, what are they going to say about 2 and 3? And I read what they said about 2 and 3, and it made them sound so awesome. I went out and I bought 2 and 3 again because I'm like, these movies are brilliant. I just missed it.
I mean, it's to the point now where I got the 4K pack or whatever it was, right? Like, I mean, and this is the only way they can sell a lot of these. Like, nobody wants to buy Crystal Skull, but they end up buying Crystal Skull because it just comes with the Indiana Jones pack, right? So what are you gonna do? Like, you're not gonna like literally. My wife did this. She literally so you could buy I don't have it here. I have it somewhere here. I don't want to go get up and get it. The Police Academy, all 7 Police Academy movies in one box set. So Sean knows because he knows this. My wife literally is like, nope. She literally found individual versions, and she bought Police Academy 1, Police Academy 3, and Police Academy 4. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay, but you realize that if you buy these 3, you're paying the same amount of money because individually they cost more than buying the entire pack. It's the same amount. She's like, I don't care. I don't want those movies on my shelf. I'm like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, well, why aren't you buying part 2? I like Police Academy 2. And she's like, I didn't like Police Academy 2. I'm like, okay. And then I started to think, like, why doesn't she like Police Academy 2? But I can kind of tell why, because it is a little bit weird because it's Bowser. It's not
Bowser.
Harris.
Yeah, no, it's a Mauser, I think his name is.
Mauser. I'm sorry, Mauser. Yeah. Bowser's from Shanana.
Yeah,
Mauser. I was okay with Mauser. Harris is obviously the best, right?
Yeah.
But Zed is the villain in part 2.
Yes.
Yeah. And he becomes a good guy in part 3. It's so weird.
Zed is one of the greatest cinematic characters of all time. I'm dead serious. He is the funny. I swear to God, I cry laughing. Like, everything he says and the way he talks, like Bobcat Goldthwait. That character is like, it is the most impossible person that could ever, like, no one could be that person in real life.
No.
Like, it's so beyond the realm of realism that, like, it's entered its own genius level. You're like, no, you're not a human being. You're not a real person. It's like, he's so weird.
Did you ever see Burglar?
Yes, I did see Burglar.
Oh man, when he walks into the bar and he's all like, he's all like cleaned up, and he's like asking the guy. He's trying to get information, and the guy treats him like crap. And he just blows up at the guy, but in the Bobcat Goldthwait way. I was just crying because it's like
he's great. And I even watched that one with the horse. What was that one again?
Yeah.
Part 1, right?
No, not Police Academy.
I know what it is. It's not Hot to Trot, is it?
Hot to Trot.
Yes.
Hot to Trot. I even watched that, for Christ's sakes. What a waste! What I don't care. It's genius.
What's that horrible John Larroquette movie with Bronson Pinchot?
No! Do not say that. I love.
What's that amazing movie where he has mind powers and shit?
He's
doing a pee dance or whatever.
Well, Sean, it's called Second Sight. It's genius.
Okay.
I'll tell you why it's genius before I address some more on it. I don't know. I have to tell you this. I have it on VHS, and then I rebought. I love Second Sight. The intro. So Second Sight is about Bronson Pinchot from Perfect Strangers, which is a great show, great opening theme. I do get teary-eyed when the theme plays. I love Perfect Strangers, but anyways, Bronson Pinchot, Balky, he plays this character who has a spirit guide. And the spirit guide, helps them out and whatever. And then he teams up with John Larroquette from Night Court, best character on that show. And they're like this detective agency. There's another guy with them who's a known actor. I can't remember his name now, of course. So they're a psychic detective agency. And the beginning, during the Warner Brothers logo, someone calls and the answering machine message answers it. So it's like, it goes, "Hello. You've reached the Second Sight Psychic Detective Agency. We know who you are and what you want. So at the sound of the beep, hang up." And I thought, this is the greatest thing ever. I love it. I love that movie. And there's a part where he's pretending to drive the car and he's like literally driving it. Yeah. And he's Jean Grey. I'm like, it goes really crazy, but I love it. Anyway, so that's the one you're talking about, Sean. Yes. That genius movie. Coleco Sports. Oh yeah, mind blowing. I didn't have Coleco. Did any of you guys have Coleco?
No, not ColecoVision. No.
Bet your Clobby had it. Watch this week. Yeah. So we're definitely gonna.
Wow.
I'm not gonna get into it because that's just gonna spoil it for later. I love them all except for the Russian Adventure. No. Did I like Mission to Moscow? No, right?
You said you liked it. I thought it was
that and Miami Beach.
Miami Beach is cool, man.
I did not like
crazy? No, Sean. Okay, you're completely mixed up. Hold on.
Well, Miami Beach? Isn't that the one?
That's the one without
City Under Siege or Miami Beach where they have the one-on-one battles with that's City Under Siege. Right?
No, City Under Siege is good.
6 is good.
No, I never liked Moscow. No, that's a lie, Sean. And that's a terrible lie because we watched those together. Like when yeah, that's what I was saying. No. Okay, no. Sean, it's a terrible memory today. It's very embarrassing. Let me. No, in this one you are remembering wrong. I don't like Mission to Moscow. I thought it was very boring. But I don't like Part 5. That was the first one without Mahoney. But I gave it a second viewing when I bought the pack. And oh god, I didn't like it. House is funny, and the fact that he sits on a plane and it turns, which is like literally impossible, like that. That's not. I don't think that works that way.
So wait a minute. Ron Perlman is the villain of Moscow, right? And Odo is the villain of Part.
Yeah, Odo's one of Rene Auberjois or whatever.
Yeah.
I love Odo, man. He's like the damn best character. After Police Academy 2, I always wanted a live action. I know. I wanted to live in a zoo. Yeah, I know. And then what does he say? What does he say his name is when he's undercover?
No.
Okay, so go ahead. Yeah, Rene Auberjois. I can't pronounce his name. He's the villain of.
The Police Academies are great except for 5 and 7. They're not that good.
I didn't like. Yeah, 7 or 5. I didn't like. I know Mahoney's not in it, so that was like a big problem. Is Sean frozen for you? Because he's frozen for me.
Yeah, he's frozen for me.
Oh, he's frozen. Okay. All right, Sean, try to log back. Oh, no, he's okay now. You back, Sean? Maybe not. So, yeah, anyway, I like Police Academy 1, 2, 3, 4. Police Academy 4 poster, official one sheet, 27 by 40.
Yeah.
Folded, because that's how they were back then. Was it folded? Yeah, it's folded. I got the poster. I love the posters. I don't know if I can, If I can show it. It's
Yeah,
hard to see, but that's it right there.
that was a great poster too, because
I love it. Has every character on it.
It has all the characters, but it's like it's not one of those floating heads ones, or like they're just standing there.
Yeah, they're doing something.
Yeah, they're all like, and they're in the hot air balloon, which actually is part of the story.
I thought this last night that the cartoon, because I saw someone, one of these millennials react to the first movie, and I realized
like your favorite style of video to watch.
I love those. But the cartoon had everybody, even characters people forgot from part one, like Leslie, who's like the fat dude, the fat white guy, and who's the other guy, and the
nerdy guy who was with Mahoney in the beginning, the guy whose wife keeps trying to run him over with the car or whatever. What was that guy's name? Remember him? He was in.
He was He was like, was he the accountant? He wasn't the accountant.
Yes, or something. Yeah, he was like the accountant.
He was the accountant. Yeah.
That became a cop. Like, and he was in quite a few of them, if I remember.
Yeah. He was a nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sweet Chuck comes in part 3 and 4. And then they literally put Zed and Sweet Chuck together as a pair. Zed and Sweet Chuck as a pair is the damn best. It's like Marx Brothers reunited.
I love the part where they're punished for they have to pick up all the trash.
Yes.
And so what they do is they put flashlights on the dogs, and so when the cops look down, they see the flashlight going like that, and they're like, "Oh my god!" It's really the dogs like fighting each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was the funniest part of that movie, man.
And then in part 4, I think they're flying in the airplane, and the guy he's like, Sweet Chuck, take over. He's like, wait, he goes, no. He goes, I distinctly heard him say, Sweet Chuck, take over. Or something like that. You're like, no, that's not what happened.
Sharon Stone's in part 4.
Yes, that's
Sharon
right.
Stone is in part 4.
Oh, here's a random Sharon Stone movie called Scissors.
Yes.
Anyone hear of Scissors?
No.
Yep, I owned this movie on VHS.
My God. Sharon Stone doesn't even own this movie.
I know. She probably doesn't want anyone to know about it, but it was actually awesome. It was actually pretty awesome.
That's crazy,
so that's a random Sharon Stone.
Young, because Sharon Stone really didn't show up, like, have any prominence until Total Recall, I believe. People always say Basic Instinct, but to me, it was Total Recall where I first recognized her as Sharon Stone.
I think that was the first one where I recognized her as something. But I had seen, I saw like some other movies with her, and I think Basic Instinct was like the super big one that kind of
that made her a superstar. Before then, she was, it wasn't noteworthy that she was in Total Recall. Right? It was Schwarzenegger. Yeah,
she was cool in Total Recall because she was fighting with Schwarzenegger and he beat her up, and then he's like, consider that the divorce.
Yeah.
That was very rude. Very rude of him.
I love how she was dating Michael Ironside in that thing.
Well, Michael Ironside is the greatest human being ever. So there's that.
See you at the party, Richter. And he throws his arms at him.
That was not nice. I like Richter, man. He was just trying to get, we need an appreciation for Richter because Ronnie Cox or whatever was a total douchebag in that movie. Cohagen, which had like best villain name ever, Cohagen, like okay. And like Cohagen's a total douche and treats him like crap. He's like, I don't pay you to think. Like, Ronnie, you're like, dude, like relax. Like you're the president, man, in Captain America, relax. And he's all pissed off at him, and then Richter gets his arms ripped off, and then Sharon Stone, like she's doing Schwarzenegger and stuff. I'm like, man, Richter's got a tough life, and then his arms get ripped off. Like this is bullshit. Like,
and he was left with that blonde guy with the glasses as his henchman through a lot of it. And I'm like, this guy's useless. Why do you have him as your henchman? He's
totally useless. That guy was useless. It's like, do something, man.
Total Recall. What a great! I remember seeing it for the first time. He's taking the nose probe out of his nose. Yeah. And I was at my neighbor's house watching it, and he just died. I was like, my God. So like, what booger is he taking out?
Yeah, and Schwarzenegger has like that good face where even when you replicate it, with like prosthetics, it still kind of looks okay because it's not too bad. Like, the eyes popping out, and you're just like, it holds up somewhat okay. It's not the best nowadays, but it's still okay.
It won the visual effects award. It didn't even have competition for the Oscar the year it won. They didn't even have nominations. They just said, and visual effects goes to Total Recall because there was no movie to match it. There was nothing. But my favorite scene is when he's Bruce Struzan.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he does everything. It's like literally everything. That's the best.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Total Recall, I've seen that so many times.
Oh God! But I love the scene when he's the lady, and he just starts like freaking out and like you can tell the guys. Yeah, he's like, and the guys don't know what to do, and then he throws the head at them and just get ready for a surprise. What the hell is this?
Yeah, what is that? By the way, that was Gul Dukat, who's probably one of my favorite Star Trek characters ever, and probably one of the best Star Trek villains ever. That actor Mark Alameo something. Alameo.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that scene with Richter, and which is great. And I think he was in that scene. And then there's the other guy who's also in it, and he's the guy from RoboCop. Paul Verhoeven reuses a lot of these background guys. Like you're like, oh shit, yeah, that guy's from RoboCop. He's one of the cops, or like you see a lot of these reused guys. It's like a John Carpenter. There's like that John Carpenter pool.
Yeah,
where it's like these guys are in everything or whatever. Like Napoleon Wilson ends up being in a couple of movies.
Yeah.
Obviously Adrian Barbeau was in a few, but like, and there's Kurt Russell, but like even just like background guys, right? It's like Peter Jason. It's like he's always in them, and what's that other guy's name? Oh my God, he's in every. I can't remember his name now. He's in every Carpenter movie. But yeah, so it's like Paul Verhoeven has his kind of like set guys who are always in the backgrounds or whatever.
I mean, Dean Norris was in Total Recall too.
Yeah.
He was the guy with his face was half.
Oh my God! Yes, you're right. Yes. He had that thing. I forgot the character's name.
The dude Marshall Bell was the guy with. I forget the little guy in him. I forget his name, but
Quatu.
Quatu, and he was one of the commanders of Starship Trooper.
Quado. Yeah, he's in Star. Yeah, and that guy was also in RoboCop as well.
Yeah,
Quato. Quato's a mutant. He's like, so don't be all disturbed when you see him. He's like, oh,
yeah. And then Michael Ironside was in Starship Troopers too as one of the commanders. Yep.
Starship Troopers is great. Rob Ager did a whole thing on that. If you need a cheat sheet on if you need to know why Starship Troopers is a brilliant film, watch the Rob Ager breakdown.
I mean, Verhoeven's notorious for Showgirls, but like
I like Showgirls. It's fine.
He had so many fantastic movies that he doesn't get credit for.
Well, he was the best at melding like intellectual with action.
Yeah.
And like high octane super action. Like his action movies are smart.
Dude, you watch Scissors? Are you crazy? That's awesome. You see, you guys are talking all posh, like, oh, I'm not watching this losery movie.
I'll watch anything with Sharon Stone in it.
It's great. It's a great little thriller. It's a nice little thriller. I wouldn't go so far as to put the Hitchcock name in there, but like, they're trying. They were trying to be that. It was good.
So I gotta ask you guys, because I had an opinion about the show, and I think both of you were consistent saying, no, we want to judge it at Loki? The end. So you saw the ending. What do you think of the show?
I have a question before we begin. Okay. My question is this. Is there going to be a alligator Kang? Is there going to be a white actor who plays Kang? Is there going to be a female Kang? Because it didn't look like it when he was showing all the multiverse people. So when I saw that, it actually pissed me off because I'm like, you guys have destroyed your own little stupid narrative, which is like, oh, everyone can be everybody. Every Loki can be 5 million people and they all look different. It's like, but you're not going to cast anyone else as Kang, are you? And I know that has nothing to do with the show, but it pissed me off because this is their agenda that they're pushing, but they're actually not pushing it. They're only pushing it for when they feel like it. When Kang was explaining, it's like, well, they're all that actor, aren't they? How is that possible? Shouldn't they all look different, just like all the Lokis look different? Mm-hmm. What a bunch of crap. Anyways, that said, okay, that last Loki episode cost $5 to make. There was one table, and then there was just talking. It's like, guys, they thought they were doing 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is nothing that we don't already know. Like, that entire 20 minutes of talking, who is that made for? Every casual, generic person, even the normies who watch these Marvel movies, they all know the multiverse and they understand what it is. I have no idea what that was all about. It's like, I am the ruler of the multiverse. Okay, now let me explain for half an hour why. I'm like, oh boy. And it was like talking. I'm like, okay, this was the climax that we've been waiting. This is why we need Loki, God of mischief.
We don't need Loki.
We don't.
It's not even a Loki show.
It's not a Loki show.
No.
All right, Sean, what are your thoughts? We were waiting. Do I need to full screen you on this, or?
But I don't know. Should you I don't know.
Right, go for it.
It's not. But I don't know who this was made for, other than speculatory fans. In that, fans who like Marvel and like to speculate about the future, but don't really want to be told a story. They just want the thrill of what's Kang gonna do and all that stuff. The whole last episode is all about Kang and Kang. Well, it's not really Kang, right? It's people it's Immortus, but they don't name him, right? But it's the setup for all those episodes is that, but that has nothing to do with Loki. It's basically this dude, and he's like, I'm going to be in these other movies, and what you've done is you've made all sorts of different versions of me come after you. But this has nothing to do with Loki, and it has nothing to do with him as a character. And at the end, they're like season 2, but this whole thing has been about the TVA, and all the setups are about this Kang guy who is this episode. So it's all about the time things and nothing to do with Asgard or Loki or the magic of Loki or the evil of Loki. At one point, they teased that he could rule everything and stuff like that, and at that point I'm like, but I don't think this character cares about that anymore. He hasn't shown to have cared about that throughout this entire thing. He's walking around with a fucking tie, for fuck's sake. He's not Loki. He's not someone who would rule. It's like the writers remembered, oh yeah, he's Loki, wants to rule. It's like, let's put that line in there. Yeah, but you haven't made a character in this show that looks like he wants to do that. And rule with the female Loki. Why would he want anyone? He only loves himself. And I know the irony is he loves himself as a woman, but that irony is lost because they're two different characters. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And the thing is that listen, Loki season 2, what's Loki season 2 supposed to be? Because this was TVA the show. I'll say this, I like the TVA stuff. I know you two probably don't. I like the sci-fi meets 50s weirdness with the theremin and all that stuff. That's cool.
No, I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but it's not Loki. It's not what I tuned into this to see. Right. It was neat to see. And there's all these weird worlds and stuff. That's cool. If they made a whole thing with just that and the guys investigating stuff, that's neat. That is not a Loki concept. It's not a Loki story. It's not a Loki hero's journey at all. It's not. It's any character could have been in this, and they just put in Loki for the name only because everyone's gonna watch a Loki show. But I don't understand what this is. I don't understand what season 2 is. I'll give the Kang thing a chance. I'm cool with all that Kang stuff. I think putting in the Kang stuff for 3 movies is a lot like the old days when they had annuals, and instead of the big Atlantis attacks the next year, they had just 4 annuals did a big story, and other 4 annuals did another big story. That's kind of what this reminds me of. But to call this Loki and to have a character that barely resembles that character, and to introduce all these big wild concepts that are time-based and have nothing to do with the character is bullshit. I don't understand what I'm watching. And honestly, that last episode is made for fans who want to know what's going to happen with the rest of the MCU after this and are hanging on every word. If they were to rewatch that episode now after they've seen it, and even after all these other movies come out, they would be bored out of their fucking minds because he doesn't say anything. He's just there to tease. It's one of those like investor calls. And that's what it was. It's like, there's going to be a Kang, and there's going to be these other movies with these other characters, and all this weird stuff. It was an investor call of like the state of the MCU, what the MCU is going to be after this, and that's it. If you were to watch this after you see like Ant-Man 3 and Spider-Man whatever with like the million Spider-Mans and stuff, you'd be bored. Probably if you watch it now after you've seen episode 6, you'd be bored. I don't know why I would revisit this show. It's not about Loki. If I like Loki, then I'm not watching a character grow and learn or like be the things I expect of Loki. So why is this called Loki? Fuck, I don't know. Other than duping you into watching a show because of the brand name recognition, I don't understand the point. Listen, I get they couldn't sell a show called TVA, but I call bullshit on that. You're Marvel. You could sell whatever the fuck you want. You could make a show called TVA, and people are like, I'm intrigued. What is this? And people, douchebags, will go on Wikipedia and look it up and watch a TVA show. I would be okay with that. I don't know why you had to ruin this by making this a Loki show. It's stupid and terrible. And if all you're gonna do is just make a build up to an episode that's just a commercial for the rest of the MCU, that is the worst part of Iron Man 2. It's the worst part of your movies that were basically setups for other movies. So listen, because of the TVA stuff, I'm not going to say it's complete super trash, but it's baffling, and I'm probably not going to watch it again. I'm not as mad as I should be, but it's just it's baffling commercial trash, and they should have just leaned heavily into the TVA stuff and make characters out of those guys and have a mystery there. That would have been cool. You don't need Loki to ruin this, and you don't need to ruin the character of Loki to ruin this.
Right.
So that's all I have
all
to
right,
say.
well, there you go, Sean. All right. Whew. Very well said, Sean. Yes.
Thank you, Clobberin. Means a lot from you.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, dude. Okay.
I mean,
guys, we have like. I mean, that's why I give Sean I just put Sean on. That's why I wanted to go first.
Yeah.
Just to get out my quick little mini rant, because my rant really doesn't have anything to do with the storyline. It just pisses me off that it pisses me off that now I'm noticing every little agenda choice that happens, and that irritates me.
Well,
because it's like, oh, we're gonna have a female Loki. Is there a female Kang? There's gonna be a black Loki. Is there gonna be a white Kang? No, there isn't. So you guys are a bunch of bullshitters. It's like that pissed me off, and then which is fine. But while I was watching it, I thought the same thing. I'm like, they're talking about multiverse. I'm like, well, I already know this. It's like, so does everybody else. Everybody on the internet knows this. And it's like, oh, and you're right, Sean. Great point with the investor call. That is what it was. It's like, let me tell the audience, hey guys, fucking Quantumania's coming. Oh no! Like, and there's gonna be a
Doctor
multiverse.
Strange 3.
It even ruins the thing you're watching.
Yeah.
Because as you're watching this, you're like, well, we know that she's going to unleash this multiverse thing. Like, you've ruined your own thing before the climax. It's like, well, now if I die, there's going to be a multiverse. It's like, oh, so I guess you will die?
Of course you're going to die.
I guess you're dying because literally we already know that there's going to be a multiverse. It's like, yeah, but hold on. If you kill me, it's going to be a multiverse. It's like, well, I guess you're going to die then. And then it's like, let me tempt Loki with this thing that he didn't care about at all in this entire, like, I caught that too. It's like, oh, we'll let you rule the TVA. It's like, yeah, because that was something that Loki
give a shit. Yeah.
Like, does he care? He just wants to rule anything. It's like, but and him loving himself.
Oh God.
It should have all been Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
It should have been, there should have been 15 Tom Hiddlestons. And having two Tom Hiddleston. Do you remember in Xena when Autolycus, played by the greatest person of all time, Bruce Campbell, where there was two Bruce Campbells?
Yeah.
Do you remember that episode? And that, oh my God, two Bruce Campbells, and one was 2 years in the future, and the future one was making fun of how young and stupid the other one was. It's like a 2-year gap. And then the 2-year one in the future was getting made fun of because he was old. It's like, oh, you're an old man. It's like, I'm literally 2 years different.
It's genius.
Can you imagine like Tom Hiddleston teaming up with Tom Hiddleston and trying to one-up himself and try to kill himself? You know, it's like, no, I'm the better Loki. No, I am. And they could have given them different looks. Like one could have had the shorter horns and one of them could have had the longer horns or whatever. Yeah. And then, you know what? Look, I'm a costume guy, and I know you guys. I know Sean is for sure. I think Steve is. You know, I'm watching this. And like, it's not Loki. It's Tom Hiddleston in a suit. It's like this is not like I want to see Loki with the freaking horns.
Yeah,
like it's not Loki.
Honestly, they should have done the Zod and Superman 2 thing. Like, give him what he wants. Like, what if there's a world where he rules? Then what would happen? Would he be bored by it? Would he pursue new things? Like, what would he do? Like, go whole hog into the character. But I don't even know what the MCU Loki is anymore because of this and the other movies past, like Avengers, right?
But I'll go one further. I didn't like even the set. Like they walk in, and Immortus is hiding in a closet or something. I have no idea where he was. I'm going to say he was in a closet. They found him.
It looks like it. Yeah.
And then you go up. He is the jolliest man who's been alone for like, I don't know, hundreds of years.
Right.
Like, he was like hamming it up. And I'm like, is this guy supposed to be threatening, or what is he supposed to be? Like
crazy, I think. Like,
yeah, but he just came across as my jolly, crazy uncle.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you don't want to kill me because bad stuff will happen. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like just taking away, I knew what they were leading up to, and obviously they're going to kill him. And of course, it's got to be female Loki who kills him because male
regular
Loki is missing his balls. Yeah. But anyhow, like, and I'm like, but I don't even know like why. I don't understand anyone's motivation at this point in time. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't even understand. Like, killing you, all these other guys will show up because I'm the guy holding them up.
How? So?
Like, I know
it's the lazy writing of that J.J. Abrams Star Trek. It's like if you blow up that ship, then Spock fucks Uhura. How? I don't. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's so no.
Changes because
it's literally the laziest
How?
thing. They just want to tell. They just want to have their thing. They just want to have their investor call. I'm so happy you said that, Sean, because I'm going to use that all the time now. they needed their investor call at the end. Like, we need a bullshit reason why we have it. And then that's it. It's like, it's super lazy. Same with Star Trek. It's like, oh, this is visionary director J.J. Abrams is going to reimagine Star Trek. Well, that's not visionary. It's visionary would be to create new characters that are just as beloved as, the old characters, which obviously he's incapable of doing. So they have that thing where I don't even remember why is that unit? Is it the Kelvin, or what's the name of the wrong
Kelvin
timeline?
Verse. Yeah,
that's the wrong one, right? That's the shit one, right?
The shit one, yeah.
So why is it the shit one again? Because Vulcan blew up or something, or what happened, or some?
No, is that not the name of the ship, the Kelvin, or something like that?
Oh, maybe.
But anyways, it gets destroyed. It's not supposed to.
Right. Okay, that's right.
And then from there, all sorts of other shit happens.
Right. But then doesn't Romulus or something get blown up or whatever?
Yeah, no, but that's later on. Like,
okay, that's later on.
Eric Bana. Is Eric Bana the villain? That he
comes
back in time.
The most un-Romulan of all Romulans. Yeah. And that's the Romulan. That's the Romulan bottom line and whatever.
He in the theatrical, he hangs out for 20 years. In the cut scenes, he gets captured by Klingons for 20 years. He comes back. He destroys Vulcan, and has his brother watch it. Or no, not his brother. Spock watch it because Spock was the one that destroyed Romulus in the other time. Whatever, man. Fuck. You're forcing me to like re-examine that fuck ass movie and like the inner mechanics of the continuity. Fuck all that shit.
I know. I don't actually care. it's just like it is a little bit of a train wreck. So I'm trying to piece it together in my mind. Like, wait, what happened?
It's unredeemable. You can't. It shouldn't even be examined. It should just be like
That's
thrown
so
in
funny.
a closet and forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's it's awful. I'm watching. I'm on Voyager now. You know, I just watch all Star Treks on continuous loop.
Yeah.
So I'm on Voyager now, and I'm like Janeway may as well be a superhero. You know who's a superhero? I was watching one of the episodes just the other day with Chakotay. I'm like, I think Chakotay is a better Superman than than the one we got. He's like, I'm not gonna kill this kid. I'm gonna save him and all that. You're like, well, I guess you're a better Superman than the Superman we got. Because
jeez.
Anyways, so Lois and Clark, did you catch up on or not Lois and Clark, whatever it's called, Superman?
I haven't caught up. I saw clips though of fights and stuff, so I know the broad strokes. But
all right, so I mean, it was pretty cool. So again, it's got some good stuff with it. My fingers are crossed. I want Steel to have the S, and I want him to have the red cape.
I thought they were spray painting him. I thought that's what he was spray painting originally.
Oh, Steve, I almost had a heart attack when he was. I was like, oh my god, is he spray painting an S? And then he didn't. I'm like, he spray painted his daughter's thing or whatever.
Yeah,
which is fine. Okay, fine, whatever. Listen, your daughter's not as cool as the Superman S or whatever. Do we call? I call it an S. Do people call it an S? Like it's an S to me, right? Like it's not the L sign or whatever.
No, the original thing was an S. It's not like it's not like when they originally created it's like it's the House Fell. Like no, that's how they it's been adapted over the years to make sense of it, and the whole Hope bullshit from Superman Origins, I think it was, or Secret Origin.
You know what? I didn't. That's one of the Superman things I didn't read. Was that good?
No, I read it. It's the thing about Secret Origin and I think it's Birthright. I've read those. The thing about those two is that they used elements in Man of Steel, but then they introduced elements that contradicted those things. So why'd you even use it? Like the whole thing where he confronts his father and says, "Are you still what? No, but I'm not your son." He's like, "You are," and then they hug and stuff. That's in the movie. And I think that's Secret Origin. The whole S thing, I think that's like S meaning hope. That's I think Birthright. It's I mean they've tried to explain the S away, right? But the thing is, like even after Superman through the 70s and 80s, any character had their like initials on them. Like Apocalypse is a serious character, and he had a big a belt buckle, right? So it's like they all did that.
I need to get an A. I need an A belt buckle. As soon as I work out and get as big as Apocalypse, not like the trash Apocalypse from the movie, the real. They need one of these bodybuilders, one of these Arnold Classics guys or whatever, like who are like literally like can't fit through doors. Yeah, they need those guys. They need someone like that to be Apocalypse. Like,
Nathan Jones, man.
Yeah, Nathan Jones is pretty. He's a tall piece of shit,
6'10",
right? He's a
man.
Wow.
6'10".
Yeah, you need one of these big guys, man. Like when I saw that, was it Isaacs or what's the guy's name?
Jason? Oscar.
Oscar Isaac. Yeah, and you're like, why is that? That's not like hashtag not my apocalypse. Like I don't know, like.
Well, I mean, at least they could have done something cool with him, but he was just wandering around with like Storm and Angel and Psylocke and Toll.
I don't know. I finally got an extra Black Panther.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the real.
So I can open them up, and same thing with Electro.
Oh, nice! I gotta go check those. Did you get Cyclops? I need my Cyclops, man.
I haven't found any Cyclops.
Damn.
I'm buying 2 so I can have one in a pack and open one up. Yeah, for whatever reason, Black Panther has a hole in the back to clip something on. No one else does. I don't understand.
Like a backpack?
That's the Jack.
I want them to make play sets, man. And just make play sets. Come on.
Yeah. That's the legit. That's the Black Panther I like with the blue gloves or whatever.
I've always thought that when they drew him like this wasn't blue. It was just all black. But the way they used to do black in those days was it's like shiny. So the blue was the shine. And the black was the shadow, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
and,
that's
and,
how
then, and then some
Spider-Man
people
works.
interpret it as, well, it's blue. It's like, well, I think it's black because he's Black Panther, but
Same with like, see, that confusion started with Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
I want to say, okay, so hold on, who was Ditko doing more black, or did that change? I think Spider-Man started out where the interpretation was that it was supposed to be black.
It's red. The originally it's red and blue, and they even say that sometimes in the narration. Something like the
So
color
who
red and
changed that?
blue,
Was that
not
like
hero.
Buscema or somebody? Who changed that? Because
I don't know. In the 80s, I didn't interpret him to have a red and black costume, because I thought it was just the shading of the blue. But
Right.
at one point, the blue was entirely black, and it's like, oh,
yeah, but one artist had
used to
more
blue.
black than blue. Because Spider-Man's black costume then would be interpreted as blue, because again, that's the way you highlight. It's basically black with blue highlights, right? Like to show that there are highlights.
But the way they drew the black costume was they didn't have blue shine to it. It was completely black all the time. They drew that well. But sometimes
he's definitely fully black in Secret Wars, but I don't think he's always like that, or maybe Todd McFarlane drew him with the blue.
It's probably McFarlane, because the art, everything I've read so far, it's been pretty consistently the blue.
Steve, are you reading? You're reading Amazing Spider-Man. From, I know you started from the beginning. Now, have you branched out to like Spectacular or Web or any of that stuff? Okay. Because I used to get Spectacular Spider-Man a lot. I don't know why. There's no reason for me to pick that one over another. But Web of Spider-Man, I remember, had the black costume from the beginning. And I liked the black costume. I know that's sort of, I like the TSR Marvel game.
Yeah.
That's where I get all my things from. That's my Monica Rambeau. That's my black costume Spider-Man. That's my brown Wolverine. Right. I also like the Chris Claremont. I'm reading Wolverine from #1 again. And as soon as Peter David took over in like issues, I don't know what issue it is, 10 or something. It's like, it friggin' whoa, it got like super pumped up. I love Peter David. Anyways, whatever. But yeah, like, see, again, that Wolverine, like they came out with a figure of him, the black with the red belt, and like he's got like the shading over the eyes. That Wolverine to me was blue with black, but again, this whole, you can't tell. Like the figure is all black. So Spider-Man doesn't fall in that category. It's definitely blue later on. Isaacs is 5'7". Yeah, geez. And it was an S. Yeah, I say S. I don't know how else to say it. I can't.
Well, why are you questioning it? It is an S.
It is an S. Yeah, no. But now they've tried to make it look like ever so often, like they've tried to make it look less like an S and more like.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, the Justice League Action version.
Oh, nice.
Like the cartoon. Yeah. What I hate about these figures is, #1, they mold the cape on the top and then have like a cloth cape for the rest of it, which looks weird. And they have to have a hole to put a thing in, but then they put the hole through the cape, and it looks like shit. You can maybe pretend that like it's the configuration of the old 50s Superman, but then this molding and painting indicates that it should be a cape all the way. Right. It's just, I don't know. I know it's for kids, but like, but still, man, I hate that kind of crap.
I love how you threw it. It's like this bang in
his ass. I like the figures. I kind of like the. I mean, I know they're supposed to look like the cartoon, so they're kind of angular and weird. And his face is weird in that it's a square head and a super jaw.
It's like flat top. He looks like
it's flat top as Superman, but yeah.
Listen,
Tracy.
J-Man, can you put me? I gotta finish Alliance War. I've got 3 attacks left. So
all right, yeah. So please finish. I'll put you backstage.
Okay.
No, we're in a war right now with Marvel Strike Force. I've been checking my phone. I got Infinity Watch now. It's pretty crazy. You can see my Infinity Watch. Oh, it's taking forever to load. It's gonna be really hard to see them.
Oh, cool.
So Adam Warlock,
Yep.
Moondragon, Gamora, Nebula. They threw her on there, even though she's not one of them really. But
No.
and Phyla Vel,
Mm.
who I don't really know. I don't know who that is. But anyway, okay. So Loki, yeah, we kind of butchered. We kind of beat the crap out of that. Did you read? Okay, so did you read any of the comics this week, Sean? Like,
I read Flash. That's the only thing that came out for me. I read the annuals 2 weeks ago. It was like
that was this one.
Yeah, it was Action, Wonder Woman, and I think Flash. So
yeah,
and then Flash had, a comic came out right after that. So
I didn't read the most current Flash because I didn't pick it up physical form, so I'll probably get it on digital. Was it good?
It's cool, man. I like it. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I should go back to collecting the physical version. I'm kind of in that, like, should I get it or shouldn't I?
DC is good for storytelling right now.
At least the main guys, like for me, the Soups, the Bats, the Wonder Womans, like Flash is good, right? Like those are like the 4 top tier guys for me. Like I'm not reading Green Lantern because I just don't have any interest in this little kid or whatever it is. But Nightwing is cool. Did you get this? I got Superman in the Authority. I don't like the Authority really. Well, I can't say that. I never really read the Authority.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, you don't have to get it. Well, you don't have to get anything, but I'll read it and see.
Read it until let me know. When in hell is Superman 78? I thought it was last month or something. When is this coming out? I see reviews now, but I don't see it available.
Is it on digital only? Maybe.
I thought it was digital only. No. I didn't see it, and dude, I get comic updates every 5 seconds. Yeah,
like while we're chatting, it's like I've got everything on here ready to go. Oh, I was reading Moon Knight #1 came out.
Oh yeah, I've been mostly I read the latest DCs for Superman and Wonder Woman stuff. I've been mostly reading like Shang-Chi and Eternals. Yep. I finished the 80s Eternals. And I'm gonna go into the 90s and then the dreaded Neil Gaiman Eternals, where they're all like they all have amnesia or whatever. Eternals should have been a series. I called that when I read the old Jack Kirby stuff.
Jack Kirby
because
ones,
because there are interrelationships with the characters, and you need to really flesh those out and flesh out the intrigue of that, like Thena and Crow and all that stuff, right? And the thing is, you can't really do all that in a movie. So I don't know what they're gonna do here. And there are some characters that are not in this movie. But as it is, they're introducing like 10 characters. But there are some characters that are interesting that they're just not in this. So I don't know what they're. I mean, Cersei's always been my favorite Eternal. She was in Avengers. And the thing about her is she loves life. She wants to party and stuff. She's very sexually liberated. She was always like, I thought her and Captain America were a thing in Avengers, and she, I think, is the main character in this movie.
Who's playing
we'll see
her?
What they do with her. Pardon?
Who's playing her?
I don't know.
Or did they gender swap her? Because I know they gender swapped a few of them.
No, well, they're not going to gender swap Cersei.
I don't know.
They race bent her. She's Asian.
Okay.
Which I don't know. You could probably say that of the actual character in the comics, but no, they gender and race swapped a whole bunch of characters. Like Ajak is Selma Hayek. It's like, okay, sure. I think I don't know. What's the guy's name? Kingo? The Indian guy is playing he's like Japanese in the comic, right? So they put Japanese to Indian.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like because Eternals seemed like that was pretty diverse, anyways. Like it seemed like you didn't need to do all.
You didn't really need to do that, but they did. So I don't know. I'm interested in this movie. I'm probably the only one, and one of the reasons why is because I read the comic, and most people haven't. So that's kind of a problem. Shang-Chi, I feel like the only reason why this movie's being made is China and diversity and inclusion, and that's about it. Because it's not Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, the whole point is is his father is Fu Manchu. It's like, I know that they're like, okay, now it's Mandarin.
Yeah, man.
But what they've done with Mandarin is he's just a common run-of-the-mill crime lord. Like, he doesn't seem that villainous or anything. It's like Fu Manchu, they use the whole Fu Manchu thing in Shang-Chi to the fullest. It's like, it's all exotic, weird, crazy, gross deaths. It's like with poisons and with
using like animals and insects.
Yeah, or like spiders and things like that. And his whole aesthetic is like creepy castles and like trap doors and stuff like this. And that's not this. And also, Fu Manchu comes with him, Nayland Smith, and the others. And so there's someone that's
Petrie and all that stuff
trying to get him. That's not in this movie. And that person turns Shang-Chi, like when Nayland Smith turns Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is also, it's weird. We haven't seen the movie yet, but my impression of the movie is that he thinks his father is doing great and everything, and Shang-Chi is out in the world and stuff and thinks this, and then something turns him and he's like, oh, my father's a villain.
Yeah, that is what's going to happen.
It makes him look stupid because in the comic, Shang-Chi is sheltered from the world. He's only growing up and living in Fu Manchu's castle, like his big headquarters. And so because of that, he doesn't know. He thinks his father's great because he's not out in the world. When he goes out into the world for the first time and kills Nayland Smith's assistant,
Petrie, was it Petrie or was it?
Yeah, Petrie. He kills him, and like he karate chops his head, and Nayland Smith is like, "You monster!" And then he tells him everything, and then Shang-Chi runs away, and he's slowly thinking about what he says, and then because he's out in the world, he's not stupid. He's not like, oh, I'm in the world already, and I still think my father's great, and oh, he's not,
Yeah, and this is today with internet and like,
I suspect that's what this movie is. We could be wrong, but we had to watch it. I just think that by stripping away all that stuff of Shang-Chi, you're stripping away the uniqueness of the character and the whole point of telling that story. Now it's just like, my father's Mandarin, and they don't even call him Mandarin in the toys and stuff. So I don't even know if they're going to call him that in the movie. And then we'll walk away saying, so is he Mandarin? What is this? He's like Wu Wei or something in the toys. It's like they don't call him Mandarin. So I don't even know if he's that. So yeah, I don't think if you like Shang-Chi and if you like the old comics, you will probably not like this movie. Now, I'm saying this not having seen the movie, but watching what they're doing with it, I don't get what the point of this is, other than we have a Chinese hero. Look, Chinese hero. Hey, do you want this? Like,
I don't know. I saw somebody talking about something like this where it's like, try to imagine China making a movie.
Right. I said this about the Civil War.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. You were saying it was, yeah. So let's say China made Captain America, the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, you'd be like, well, this is a bunch of ass. Like, I'm not watching this. And it's like, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Why? Yeah. No, you said that on the stream. Yes. I remember now. Yes. If China made a movie about, the American Civil War, it'd be like, what is this? Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And I'm not saying that's exactly the same thing, but you really need to get, like, because Shang-Chi is so intertwined with Fu Manchu, and Fu Manchu has such a back, like, catalog and story of all of these novels. And all of these things.
It's a more an aesthetic. Yeah.
And Fu Manchu, I freaking love Fu Manchu. I bought everything I could possibly get for Fu Manchu, and I've read the first 3 or 4 books.
Yeah.
By Sax Rohmer, right? Yeah. It's like, they're very creepy. Fu Manchu is freaking awesome. I love Fu Manchu. Like, I always have the reverse opinion of this. People are like, oh, it's making like Chinese people look bad. I'm like, it's making them look awesome to me.
Well, like, no, but when you read those books, it is racist, and it goes full on into the racism. It is the story.
It is the story.
And Nayland Smith is fighting for the whites. I mean, that is what it is. But like, listen, that whole thing, It's risky nowadays. But why wouldn't Mandarin be something like that, like creepy, scary? Like with that sort of aesthetic and everything. If you just make him a crime lord, who cares? Like, I don't care about that. Like, what's the point of that? Yeah,
like Fu Manchu was creepy because Fu Manchu never used pistols or firearms or like generic weaponry. He really wouldn't even stab you too often.
Yeah.
It was all these weird things. Like he had that little trunk in that Drums of Fu Manchu where there's different levels.
Right.
He'd put you in and he'd release like insects or something. And you were just like, oh, this is weird. And it would always be like and he'd have the Descartes or whatever.
Yeah.
And those guys were kind of creepy too. It's all this weird stuff. And even if you infiltrated his base, he had traps and stuff. And there'd be like things that like crush you and all this.
Right. It's like, weird.
It's like, where is this stuff? I don't like, this is not going to be in this movie. And just imagine if and Shang-Chi, because I read the Master of Kung Fu, those first, I bought the digital omnibus and I started reading that and it was so good. It's like Shang-Chi's basically an assassin. See, Fu Manchu effed up his daughter too. His daughter is all effed up also.
Yeah.
And he sends Shang-Chi out and Shang-Chi's like, oh, I got to do it. My father is my idol. It's like, that's it. And then, and Nayland Smith's like, dude, you're fucking crazy. Like your dad is a nutcase. And then he's like, oh my God. And he runs off and he has nowhere to turn to at this point. Cause like, why? I don't know. I can't trust my father, but I don't know what to do. And no one's his friend because everyone's like, well, you're the son of Fu Manchu, so you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Where's that movie? That's not the movie. I'm watching this movie. I'm like, this is not this. Like,
he's on the run and he's constantly attacked by like new villain. Like there's a new weird martial arts villain in every issue. It's funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
But they all die in some creative way that like he doesn't do it himself. So
because they don't want to make him to be. That's the thing. You can't have him like execute people. But they pulled the same thing with my buddy Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's got this crazy origin. He goes into Kung Lun or whatever and learns all this shit. And you're like, oh my God. Then he comes back. He's like, look, I'm getting revenge. This is a bunch of crap. And he literally goes through that friggin' gauntlet of guys. It's like he's literally going. It's the pagoda from Game of Death, but like modern. It's like a building.
Yeah,
and there's traps and shit. And then you're like Iron Fist TV show, and it's like, oh, I'm trying to get my company back and all this. I'm like, wait, what is happening here?
Yeah, it's like embrace the uniqueness of. It's like, what are the cool things from this character that are unique in the marketplace? And it's like, take those things and make something out of that. Why make it generic? That's my fear about Shang-Chi and the Eternals movies. Like already, it's like people don't care about these things. And I think that they're going to make them generic to try and sell them. But honestly, if you do more fun, weird things with them, like what was in the comics, you endear them more in people's minds. Is like, rather than like, the karate guy. It's like, the guy who did this, and like there's this weird scene that stuff from the comics, right? That would have been cool, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm reviewing movies that haven't come out yet, so
but look, we know that that's what it's going to be. There's not going to be weird traps with weird animals and roaches and rodents and things. That there's not, and there's going to be like spiked walls and all. They're not going to have any of that weirdness. It's going to be him. He's going to have those stupid ring. They're going to shoot energy or some shit. It's not even going to be It's not even going to be the Mandarin. That's the Mandarin. Like, is he going to have ice powers and fire powers and all that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're going to shoot energy blasts or something. And it's like, oh, how can Shang-Chi win? It's like, I don't know, dodge them and kick them. Like, and then the other thing too, the fights. Like, I want to see like super ninjas. I want to see
and that's the other thing. It's not going to look cool. It's not going to look like the Shaw Brothers type movies. Yeah,
I want Shaw Brothers.
Yeah,
we just ordered Shaw and I just pre-ordered the Shaw Brothers.
Like, man,
18 disc volume 1. Woohoo!
Yeah, it's like 12 movies or something, and
that's gonna be outrageous.
Which movies?
I don't know.
They haven't released the names of every single one, I think.
Listen, we're Sean and I are such Shaw Brothers losers that it says Shaw Brothers and we pre-ordered it for $200.
In the middle of the stream. I was just like, I wandered off and I looked up Shaw Brothers and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, there's an announcement that happened. Because that's what I do. I troll the internet. I just look up for things I would like to see, and then sometimes someone and then I put in the private chat. I was like, oh shit, this thing, and no one cared except for J-Man. J-Man's like, oh, email me this. So I did,
Yeah.
and it's like all we're streaming.
We pre-ordered a $179 18 disc collection. We don't even know what movies are on there.
Yeah,
It's just I'm serious. It's like Shaw Brothers 18 discs. Okay, I'm ordering it. It's like we don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
there's gonna be Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on there. I guarantee. It's not gonna be all the kung fu ones, but
yeah.
There's
No, I
gonna
mean,
be Peking Men is cool. Peking Men is cool, and and Brave Archer is I wonder if those will be on there. There's like 4 of those. I don't have a lot of those though. They're all on VCD, so I'm very I can't wait for 12 Gold Medallions, dude. I'm watching that freaking ASAP on Blu-ray, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love 12 Gold Medallions. It's so good. Okay, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Shang-Chi. The problem is again, we're too nerdy with Asian cinema. I've literally been with these kung fu movies from the freaking beginnings, buddy. Like, and we were going to the Chinese mall next to Sean's house, hitting that up, buying all of these things, and like we're buying. I literally have the VCDs like under here. Let me see if I can reach them. Hold on, without taking off my stuff. Yeah, I can.
Some lying around.
Okay. This is a movie on CD. All right, hold on. I'm gonna make myself.
I got my old. Which ones? The heroic ones.
Oh no! Oh yeah, you bought the region. Those are region 3.
I know, man, but like I have them.
Hold on. Oh, are you getting out the Shaw? Okay, well, that's it. Hold on, that's it. If Sean's getting the collection, I have to get it out. That's it. I will not be undone. I will not be outdone on my own stream here. Hold on.
5 Venoms.
Oh, no, that's all in a separate location. I'm just getting the cheapy ones out. Hold on.
I got other shit. Like, I mean, they're super fucking cop, but
I mean, Sean, you're making Jay go into like his.
I know.
His
I'm telling you.
Hold on, it's not done yet, dude. There's so many. You're gonna die.
See,
I'm only gonna show you Shaw Brothers.
So.
Okay.
Man Called Heroes there for sure. Because I think you showed that to me.
Man Called Heroes is not Shaw Brothers though.
No.
All right, I'm falling over. Okay. So just Shaw Brothers though. And not what's it called? None of the Blu-rays, because the Blu-rays are in a different section, so I couldn't get those out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I have all the obvious ones. Oh, here's a good one for people. This is not Shaw Brothers, but
I'll show you
one.
How bad could that movie be?
Yeah, exactly.
It's Dr.
Why?
Dr. Wayne, a Scripture with No Words.
Oh, I love Dr. Wayne,
the big Brothers Block movie.
Yeah.
It's not Shaw Brothers, but it's cool.
It's not Shaw Brothers. That's cheating.
Yeah, I know.
It's cheating.
I love how it's in the blue case, not the black case. It's in the blue case.
It's in a weird blue case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to see, because none of this stuff's organized.
My Raped by an Angel 2 is in a blue case.
There's my Shaw Brothers. This is just the VCDs.
Yeah.
Oh, Brave Archer, baby. Nacha the Great. This is a good one too.
Yeah, I have that down there. Yeah.
There's the 5 Element Ninja.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 5 Deadly Venoms. There's 12 Gold Medallions.
Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, I got that on
Peking Men.
3. Peking Men, yeah.
Yeah. This is the Battle Wizard.
I remember we saw the name of that. I was like, "Fucking Battle Wizard!"
This is the best movie ever.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Now, Disciples of the 36 Chamber. Come on.
Yeah.
8 Diagram Pole Fighter. Come on.
Yeah.
It's like Heroes 2. This is an awesome movie. This is what's it called? Brave Archer part. I don't know what part it is. It's one of them. Oh. Flying Guillotine, baby.
No, yes.
Oh yeah. Come on. You can't go wrong with that one. Heaven and Hell.
A lot of that stuff is actually on Netflix. If you
are these these all on Netflix?
Yeah. Not all of them. Like
Champions Shaolin. That's kick ass. There you go. The 36 Chamber Shaolin. I've got that on Blu-ray already, which is a great movie. Return to the 36 Chamber. Yeah. The Bastard. This is a great movie. As long Mad Monkey Kung Fu. Come on. Mm-hmm. Oh, these are great. Yeah. I'm literally going to I'm just going to do maybe 18. How many movies do we get on that pre-order?
It's 12 movies, I think.
It's 12 movies. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like they made a point to say volume 1, right? So
go to Amazon.com. You cannot order from Amazon.ca because they're very wonky. Go to Amazon.com, do Shaw Brothers Collection, and it should be there. Let me see if I can even find it on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find it too. Here, I got the link, man. I'll
put it in the private chat, or can you put it in the comments as well? Are you able to comment? If not, put it in private chat and I'll put it.
I'll go to YouTube and comment.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. It might not let you put links. I can't remember what I said.
No, it should be able to. Why wouldn't
Yeah, okay. No. Sometimes StreamYard I can disable because people try to like put links to stuff.
No, but I'm going to YouTube and I'm actually.
Yeah, you're gonna put it in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes that's disabled because people will be like, "Oh, check out my website and stuff." Like you can disable it. I'll try it. I think I left it on. I don't think I disabled. These are other VCDs.
Could not be reached for comment. I think has some movies there.
Okay, so King Boxer's good boxer.
Oh, you're right, man. It's not letting me.
Yeah, it's not letting you. Put it in the private chat of here now, and I can post it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look here. King Boxer, yeah, that's a good one. Boxer from Shangtung. I've never seen that. 5 Shaolin Masters, I think, is good. Shaolin Temple is good. Mighty Peking Command, yeah, we know that one. Challenge of the Masters. I don't think I saw that. Executioners from Shaolin is awesome. Chinatown Kid, the 5 Venoms, obviously is great. Crippled Avengers. I don't think I've seen that one. So there's a few there that I don't know. Okay, so this is the link. We're gonna put it in. We're gonna put it in. Copy. I'll put it in the comments here. There you go. There you go. Okay, so King Boxer, yeah, that one's awesome. The boxer from Shangtung. I've never even heard of that. Have you heard of that, Sean?
No.
No, I don't know that one at all. 5 Shaolin Masters, yeah. Shaolin Temple, yeah. Mighty Peking Man, yeah. Challenge of the Masters. I have to look that one up. Executions from Shaolin is awesome. Chinatown Kid, I've never seen. 5 Venoms, obviously, that's awesome. Crippled Avengers. I've never heard of that either. Crippled Avengers?
The thing about all this is that it's awesome. Like, that's the thing. There's high quality control.
Oh, shit. This looks pretty cool. Oh, Crippled Avengers is actually 5 Deadly Venoms Part 2, I think.
Oh, I've seen this.
So I have it.
Yeah.
Wait. There's more.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Amazon Prime? Yeah.
Well, I have Amazon Prime. Okay, so wait. Crippled Avengers from Chang-Chi, duh. Starring members of the Venom mob. Okay, it's been released in North America as Mortal Kombat: The Return of the. So I already have the Return of the 5 Deadly Venom, so I have that one.
There's also Heroes of the East.
Yeah.
And Dirty Ho.
Oh, Dirty Ho. Yes, I know that one. Is it gonna? Oh man, they don't have 12 gold medallions on there. I need that.
Shaw Scope.
The thing is, all of those ones that Sean has are Region 3.
Yeah, what company was it that they were releasing, I swear to God, every single Shaw Brothers thing? It was Celestial Pictures. In the early 2000s, released every stinking thing. Even the live action Master Q movie, they made like everything. I bought, there was a comedy they made where Darth Vader fights guys at the end. I bought that.
Wow.
I bought anything I could get my hands on at the time that was Shaw Brothers. Because at that point, I knew if it's Shaw Brothers, it's not shit. I got Oily Maniac.
Yes,
which was their monster movie.
With the monster.
And now I have that VCD, so I can watch that. What's the what was the one where the guy makes the paper lanterns out of human skin?
Oh, I know what it is. Yes, I know it.
It was their version of a slasher.
Yes. Oh my God. I didn't get it.
That's probably what it's called.
I did not get that one. And I remember I didn't get it because I thought, it's a horror movie.
It's one of those things where you psych yourself out. It's like, fuck off, man. It's a Shaw Brothers like a slasher picture.
Oh damn! I had a Shaw Brothers catalog. Where's my Shaw Brothers catalog? It was with one of these.
I pre-ordered it as well.
Oh wow, we're giving a lot of money to these people. Where's my Shaw Brothers catalog?
Yeah, Arrow owes us now.
I don't have my catalog. These VCDs came with catalogs. I don't have any of them here.
Oh yeah.
Shit. I don't have any of them. Oh, maybe they're in my Godzilla box. Crap. I probably put them in the Godzilla box. No, I had a Shaw Brothers catalog that had everything.
Yeah.
That had everything pictured. It came with the VCDs. I don't think it came with... Oh, no, you know what? It came with the DVDs. And I bought Inframan Region 3.
Right, I got that too. Region 3, yes.
But Inframan came out proper.
Yeah, I did. Blu-ray
on Blu-ray, so you can get. If you guys haven't seen the Super Inframan, it's freaking missing out.
It's awesome. Everything explodes. Everything. You punch a guy, they explode. You kick something, it explodes. It's like, holy shit! Is the whole movie this? It's like literally it's awesome, man. Yeah,
Power Rangers amped up. There's very few human bits. Like he is Inframan the whole time, and it's literally Power Rangers, but the Kung Fu's better.
Yeah.
Crippled Avengers, yes, that's Return of the 5 Deadly Venoms. So that also came out on DVD as well, and it came with something else. The problem is my DVDs are separate from my VCDs, so they're all around here somewhere. I don't know what it came out with.
Like, I don't know if they're going to release everything, but I know there's
they'll do volumes.
Something called 88 Films, which they've been releasing a whole bunch of these, but I don't know what region they are. But I just want them, because I have them on multiple different formats. I want them consolidated into one thing.
Yes, that's my problem.
Because it's like you have your VCDs elsewhere, you got your DVDs from your Blu-rays. It's like I want them on one thing, and like honestly, it's one of those things. Like I kept searching every week or so for like, has anyone done a Shaw Brothers thing? And because it's obvious, it's Shaw Brothers. It's like it has influenced everything. I don't care if you're Chinese or not Chinese. It's influenced everything. All the movies. It's like, listen, like the Wu-Tang Clan can't be wrong. It's like they love they love Shaw Brothers. And like of course you're gonna make a big Blu-ray set of it. And like a few, like this is specifically called Volume 1, which gives me hope that they're gonna make more and more and more of these, right?
I will get everything. I will actually get everything for that. There's a few I really would like to get all 4 chambers. I really like the first one, obviously. That one I do have.
Yeah, they're not connected or anything, but
I know. I like 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was really neat. Brave Archer, there's definitely 4 of them. I have a few of them that I've just like bought in the cheapy way. Like if you go to like there's that shop we go to, like this is Flashpoint, right, with Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
And like I paid like $2 for this on Blu-ray. Like I went to the shop and you can get these like, and they look very official, and it's like very cheap. Like I got all the Monkey Kings.
Yeah.
I bought the Monkey King series for like nothing, and they get these really nice covers and stuff. And it's like $5 a disc or something. And it's like, this one is SPL 2.
Yeah.
SPL 2. Yeah. So it's like you can get all these really cheap or whatever.
Yeah.
Is this SPL 1? Yes. So yeah, like you can get a lot of these really good, but yeah, I really need to get a good Shaw Brothers collection. You can pre-order now. They don't charge you till it ships.
And it's not coming out till December 7th.
Yeah, so pre-order it now because the Kid with Golden Arm is good too. Yeah, but pre-order it. They don't charge you till it actually ships. Kid with Golden Arm, is awesome. I don't have that one. See, the thing is like the VCDs were about $10, and VCDs are movies on CD, so they usually take up 2 to 4 CDs, and that's unfortunately the only way you can watch them. And they actually have Mandarin audio, Cantonese audio, and then they have simplified Chinese subtitles, and then they have English subtitles all at the same time. So you have to turn off one of your channels.
But they were.
Is Shaw Brothers would it be Mandarin as the language or Cantonese?
I think it's Cantonese.
It would be. I thought it was Cantonese, though.
Yeah, maybe it's Cantonese. So Cantonese is the original language. So you'd have to turn off like the left channel to remove the Mandarin. And then you'd have simplified Chinese subtitles along with English subtitles at the same time on the screen. But guys, we were so desperate to when Sean and I discovered this, we were so stunned. We're like, I can't believe and they all look the same. They have the Shaw Brothers banner at the top. And it's like, this was just like impossible to resist. And I was buying like 3 at a go. Like it'd be like 3 for $20 or I don't know what it was, right? Like that store gave you deals. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And I just tried to get anyone that even remotely
the thing was in that same place. Hold on for a second. My internet's all
You're okay. You're okay now.
No, now he's frozen again.
All right. In that same place, they had like a whole bunch of 80s and 90s Hong Kong stuff. I bought a bunch of that stuff, and this stuff was a bit more expensive. So you bought 1 or 2, and then you bought like a whole bunch of.
Yeah, because those are like $20 or $30 for the Region 3 DVDs.
Yeah,
and all their other stuff was $10.
Yeah, and I bought it's funny because it was a racket. They had these Region 3 DVDs, and they had all region players. So I bought an all region player, and then the all region player broke down in about 2 years. So then
broke down super fast.
So then I go get another one. It's like I buy more of these and watch them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I took the VCDs. They actually have VCD players, which is like so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play them on anything. Why I have a player for
VCD. I know. But oh man, Shaw Brothers is so good. Well, Tarantino literally did it for Kill Bill. And when we saw Kill Bill in the theater, Sean and I were like, "Holy shit!" The Shaw Brothers logo. We're the only 2 people in the theater that knew what the hell was going on. It's like, I'm like, this is Shaw Brothers, and it wasn't even a pretend logo. It was the real one.
It was the real one.
And there's no point. Why is that even there? Like, there's no reason for that. And I'm just like, literally, I'm like, Tarantino became my favorite person with that. With it's like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, Tarantino is the greatest person ever. Like, this is so random.
Anyone who's associated with that and shows love to it, like the RZA is one of my favorite people ever because
RZA is awesome.
I don't care about the shitty movies he made. It's okay, but like his commentary for 36 Chamber of Shaolin is awesome. It's like he obviously loves it, right?
Yes,
I mean, it's
36. So I used to call it Master Killer. I don't know what I call it Master Killer. And the thing is, you really need to. I have that Asian Trash Cinema book, which is very helpful for people who need to know all the alternate titles. See, because I didn't realize Crippled Avengers was also Return of Five Deadly Venoms.
Yeah.
So I have a book that tells you all of the alternate titles. That book is beat up. I remember when I was at one of my jobs where I met my wife or my future wife.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys there and they're like, oh man, it's like, and they saw me reading it. They're like, oh dude. And I gotta tell you, they're these like really huge black guys. And we like connected immediately. I'm like, just like and the guy's like, yo, is that Shaw Brothers? I'm like, yeah. It's like a book that has all the alternate. He's like, oh my god, he's like, dude, and then we had an exchange. I was like, well, what do you got? And he's like, I've got the Buddha's palm or whatever it was called. I was like, oh, I don't have that one. And I said, what do you want? And I was like, I got 12 gold medallions. He never heard of it, so I said, I'm gonna give you 12 gold medallions. He said, can I borrow the book? And I lent him the book for the weekend. He came back. He's like, 12 gold medallions is like the greatest movie ever. I was like, oh yes. and so he gave me the Buddhist palm or whatever. So then we linked up because of this Shaw Brothers thing. And it was like literally like he's thinking I'm like this nerdy superhero guy. Like, what do I know about Shaw Brothers? And I'm like, what does this guy know about? And like we looked like we didn't know anything about this kind of stuff, but then we just connected. We're like, oh my god! And then we became buddies from that. It was so weird. Because it's like you look at that guy, like you would never think that me and him would have anything in common, right? But we got together. Shaw Brothers brings people together. Volume 2 in 2022. There you go. Shawscope Volume 2.
So is Togo Golden Medallions, that's the one where he can vibrate shit and like someone puts a coin on the table and he vibrates underneath it and brings it to him, right?
I think so. Yes. I haven't seen it in so long. I don't remember all of the plot details or what the guy's thing was, but it was like they're trying to pay. The guy was trying to pay the ransom or something and he sends these guys to protect it. Maybe there wasn't any power. I don't remember the movie at all. Last time I saw it was when we bought it, and I remember just dying over it. And then I lent it to that guy, and then we talked about it, and I haven't remembered it in so long. So maybe I don't remember. I need to watch it again. Maybe I should watch that this weekend and see if I can. But it's VCD. It's awful. That's what I'm saying. I never went back to watch these because the quality is garbage, right? Like, so I think Sean, you bought it on Blu-ray or on DVD, and then I copied it off you. I think I burned it off you. Sean is frozen with a smile. We should cap that because we'll never see it again.
That's going on my Christmas card this year.
Yeah.
Sean smiling, frozen and smiling.
Yeah, you were frozen and smiling. That was great.
That will never happen again. Especially when we continue to talk about Marvel.
Yeah, no, that won't happen.
See that Loki's got now on the screen? That's what we're going to see.
That's Loki. That was fun. That was great. But yeah, I got to rewatch some of these. But yeah, the problem is like it's really crappy quality with these VCDs because it's like literally a CD. And like this one, they're all at least 2 discs. Yeah, this one's a 2-disc one. But they have sort of like the catalogs in here. You can kind of see a little bit of what's coming out. There's so many movies that I can't even like.
I'm still on the lookout for Rape by an Angel 4. I have 1, 2, 3, and 5.
I have it. I have them all. Yeah,
I don't have 4.
I don't know what those aren't Shaw Brothers. Those are just, whatever company it happens to be. I think Shaw Brothers is very distinct. I don't know when they ended. When did Shaw Brothers end?
Did they end? I thought they just did TV.
Oh yeah, maybe because they definitely don't do anything like super big right now. I don't think that I know of.
It's like Hammer. Hammer didn't really go away.
No, it didn't go away either.
Yeah, but their heyday is the movies, right? So
like for me, look, Chang-Chi is the man. Like, to be honest, like if his name is on it, that's like good enough. Like that's like a guaranteed good movie. Did they ever? I have 5 Element Ninja, in the proper format now, and I've got 5 Deadly Venoms and Return of the Deadly Venoms and Come Drink With Me. Was that Shaw Brothers? Is Shaw Brothers?
Was it not? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I have that one. So I was able to get a few of these Super Inframan. Obviously, that's like a day one purchase. Yeah. Like that's like a no brainer. Yeah, we definitely have we'll definitely have to get all of those ones. Yeah, 36 Chamber. I don't think the others came out. No Brave Archers. I don't think any of those came out officially anywhere. No. Except for those Region 3s.
Yeah. I mean, part of, like I said this before, like I just want like all of them consolidated because like Dragon Dynasty tried to release them and I thought they were going to release them all. I was so spoiled by the Celestial Pictures set that like I thought anyone who releases Shaw Brothers will release everything and you'll get everything. But no one else since Celestial, I think, has really done that yet. This 88 Films guys, they're trying to do
I've never heard of these people. I know Dragon Dynasty was on a roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I picked up quite a few from Dragon Dynasty.
And they didn't do everything.
And then they just ended.
And plus they didn't release, they only released the martial arts stuff, and that's great. But like I want everything, like because everything else is cool too. So
no, I definitely want the martial arts, like as my first and foremost.
Oh yeah, of course,
That's like my main thing. If they release a pack, if they would have released like just the martial arts ones, and then I would definitely be for that. But I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah,
like this set's gonna have like what 7 or 8 martial arts ones, anyways.
Yeah, and plus it's a beautiful. I mean, it's Arrow. They're gonna do a great job with it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be something you're gonna be proud to own. It'll have like mega features, and it'll have like super books and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, Arrow does it, and it's like Criterion, right? Like Criterion's always got nice ones for sure.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, there's the bargain basement ones that are
Well,
meant to be that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but they have two different versions. Usually, it's like you can buy like a cheaper version.
yeah.
My Dimogen's going to be shipping soon. I think I got the notification.
Yes, I got that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Arrow. That Gamero was Arrow, right? Was it not?
It might be that
It was,
now
yeah.
now they did again. You can get two versions of Gamera. You can get or Gamera.
The Showa and the Heisei, yeah.
Right. No. That it gives you all of them. But there's that big one that you have. That's not the one that just got released again.
No, did they not split them up into Showa and Heisei? They did, right?
No, that big thing has everything.
No. Yeah, I know. But they released another set that was just the Showa and it was like new art and everything. But it's just it's like I have everything. I don't need that.
I don't need that. Yeah, I passed on that one because I bought every Gamera movie like fucking 4 times easily 4 or 5 times per movie easy. But Daimajin, that's, and then what was the other one I was just thinking about? Oh, the Lone Wolf. No, not Lone Wolf. Swordsman. Zatoichi.
Yeah.
That's that was that other pack that was really good.
That mega pack, yeah. And that was Criterion though, right? I think
that was Criterion. But also Criterion did what was the other one they just did too that just came out?
2011. They were just rebranded.
Oh, into Clearwater Bay Land Company. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, the Shaw Brothers.
I know, everyone knows what that is.
Yeah, I don't want this bullshit Clearwater or whatever.
Bayland.
Isn't that a band?
Sounds like an environmental company.
That's what's it called? What's the band's name? Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I fucking hate Creedence or whatever. And then Big Lebowski and the guy who beats him up or whatever.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah. But yeah, it's like they did what's it called?
Bad Moon Rising.
Born on a Bayou, right?
Yeah, Born on a Bayou.
Which is from Swamp Thing, Return to Swamp Thing. Which has the best opening credits. Right. Return to Swamp Thing has the best opening credits. It's like it's all the comic books, with that song. I'm like, this is genius. Kill Bill Volume 1 is this.
That's fun.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my god. I mean, see, Tarantino's just awesome for that. Like, he's just whatever he's pumped up for, he'll make it awesome. He'll just be like, I'm all over this. So it's like whatever the genre is. But all right, I think we're gonna end it off. We're gonna try to hook up on Sunday again. I'm gonna get Gray Malkin on hopefully for Sunday's thing, and we'll just go through some more comics and whatever else is out. I don't know, but this was fun. Just like talking about random stuff was okay too. 60-page booklet and new art for Shosco. But wow! I
can tell you're pumped up.
Yeah, so
I can tell you're excited.
He's excited because he's been searching stuff while he's on here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, go to Amazon.com and pre-order it now because these kinds of things, and Sean and I have seen this going far back as any Godzilla release, any Gamera release, the Daimajin collection, anything with Ultraman. Literally, I have not missed any Ultraman.
Yeah.
And the last 4 pre-orders from Amazon.ca were canceled on me.
Yeah. Now I've learned my lesson. It's America only.
It's America only.
I buy American.
And so far, and I already pre-ordered Ultraman 80 and Ultraman. Did you pre-order the next 2, Sean? Ultraman?
Yeah.
You pre-ordered the next 2 Ultramans, right?
Hey, you bought American.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you missed out on it, Sean got screwed on that one. You had to get the alternate version, which was really bullshit.
When it first started happening, I was like, what the fuck? Then I was like, you know what? America seems to still ship here and on time, so let me just do that. Then.
Yeah,
they're better.
Yeah, you can't take like John Wick. Yeah, order that from CA. Like whatever. That's fine, right? Like I order stuff from CA all the time. generic movies. You know, Justice League will come out, right? Zack Snyder's Justice League. That you can get that at Walmart.
Well, sometimes they do the Criterion. Like I just bought Hidden Fortress and Rashomon.
Yeah,
from them.
From what .ca?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine because that's not a limited thing. Like, but Shaw Brothers and these limited. I don't know if Shaw Brothers is limited, but you can't take a chance.
No, it's limited. It says limited.
Yeah, like you can't take a chance on that, man.
No,
I know. Anything that's limited, you can't.
Yeah, not from CA. They cancel it all the time, so it's a bunch of crap.
I'm
gonna get my Asian Trash Cinema book out. It's let me see if you should look it up. It's like I think it's called Asian Trash Cinema, and it's a great book. If someone you can still find it. It's got Jackie Chan on the cover. He's like, so if you can find that book, my book has been bent, like folded. It is like I used to like try to carry it in my pocket, like it was the go-to guide that you needed because you'd go and buy a movie. You're like, I already own this. Ever since I bought Godzilla on Monster Island and sat down, so excited to put it in the VHS player. I'm like, here we go. And it started off, I'm like, this is Godzilla versus Gigan. And I thought, maybe they're just reusing the same footage in the beginning. So I'm fast forwarding, like, no, this is Godzilla versus Gigan. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, you start to research as a kid. You're like, oh, every Godzilla movie has 4 titles. I'm like, I didn't know that. And then like, where can I get a book to help me with this conundrum?
And that Godzilla theme park isn't even an island, so he's not on Monster. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I know that's bullshit advertising.
That whole movie, I love that movie from my childhood, but it's like, why make you're aliens trying to take over the world? So you make a theme park with a Godzilla theme on it, and you build a Godzilla building that can shoot. What is your plan? It's like, focus. Do you want to take over the world or not? Like, you're making a Godzilla theme park to fight Godzilla.
Sean, are you honestly asking Godzilla to focus? What?
No, that plan makes perfect sense to me. I would definitely. I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
It's like that robot chicken sketch about like the aliens trying to take over the world with a white Michael Jackson in there, and he's like, I don't even know how we're supposed to take over the world with a white Michael Jackson. It's like, shut up.
Yeah, I remember that.
The best thing about that line is he was not excited at all. You can tell he was.
I know. I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. All right, guys. Okay, well, I guess we'll just end off there. We're gonna try to be live on Sunday, and we'll just see how it goes. That's it. Order Shaw Brothers are the best. See you guys.